Are you tired of living beneath your potential, of knowing there's more inside you but never quite reaching it? Are you tired of the cycle-soft motivation followed by relapse, of ambition buried by doubt, of dreams reduced to distractions? Are you tired of watching others rise while you remain still, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow? Enough. That lie dies tonight. From this moment forward, you are no longer a bystander in your own life. You are the architect, the driver, the fire. And every second you breathe, you are programming your future, whether by design or by default. There is no off switch to your mind. Even now, as you listen, it listens too. It absorbs, it processes, it obeys. And if you do not seize command of your thoughts will command you. You will not stumble into discipline. You will not drift into greatness. No man ever has. And yet most men wait for clarity, wait for energy, wait for someone to tell them they're ready. Let me tell you now, readiness is a myth. Control is a decision. Tonight, we stop waiting. Tonight, we begin reprogramming, not for comfort, but for conquest, not for ease, but for evolution. This is not a speech. This is a signal to your body, to your mind, to your future. Let us begin. A lot of people want to be successful, but not many actually are. I'm ready to do anything to get what you want, to get noticed, grow, and really succeed. You have to work hard to do something great, things every single day, because the truth is that if you avoid the fight, you try to stay away from success too. But are you ready to try new things? Follow these steps to be successful. You've been after one by doing what? Hard work is where every great accomplishment starts. A choice to leave something behind. Take it easy and accept how hard this is. The unbreakable rule of success built into the very fabric of growth in the pies. Difference between people who rise to success and people who quit, they settle for failure, is found in one truth about what they can do. Others say no to the masses' pleas for comfort, safety, and a path that can be predicted, but history doesn't honor those who, if you want to stay within the ease, it crider, recognizes people who go into the, no one knows who stands strong in the face of adversity and who have the unwavering, with the drive to turn hardship into win over the mind when it is trained and, when guided correctly, becomes the most strong force that people know of, but resistance is the only way that it gets stronger, just like the blacksmith. Fire makes steel stronger, so the mind must be formed by hardships. The great businessmen, inventors, great thinkers who changed the world, they didn't look for the easy way out. They picked the road was full of obstacles for them. Learned that in battle there is a rise in suffering after change. When you pick the dot, it's hard for you to separate yourself from a crowd. You build strength. You make the thinking that can't fail. Those who are afraid, who run away from pain, may never know how far they can go, because they have never pushed it to its limits. But you will soon learn to welcome the pain of discipline, enjoy the benefits of sticking with it. Heaven and earth bend to the will of those who are not willing to give up the fight, for success isn't fought in the outside world by itself. It's fought in the presence. Parts of the mind that question, fear, and they will be tempted by tiredness, telling you to stop the journey. This is when the real test comes up. Will you move forward or will you escape? And that choice alone will shape your fate. Every leader, innovator, everyone who has made a tool that will never be erased from history has, at this point in time, they could feel the weight of being worn out, the pain of failing, the darkness and doubt, but they persisted. They knew that just beyond the point of pain lies a prize that most people will never see, for when their minds are set on a clear goal and the will is backed by strong, stick with it and nothing is impossible. It's not enough to just dream. The link between hope and action is action. And what really happened and what was done in the having to deal with pain becomes the spark. Greatness is saved for change, for those brave enough to last. The only question now is, will you be one of those two reasons why comfort is bad? For most people live their whole lives in search of the comfort they seek. Safety, they stay away from risk, and by doing this, they bind themselves without realizing it. Average ease is deceptive. It makes you sleepy, as you into a state of comfort, making you believe that you are safe, that you're happy, but safety and feelings of happiness are lies when they take away from growth. Take a look around. Every great new idea, the beginning of a success story was pain. The business owner who took a huge risk, the worker who worked out until their body hurt, could not take it any longer. The artist who put their whole selves into their work, after being turned down, these people refused to let ease in. Describe them. They knew that comfort. While attractive is bad for progress, the mind gets stronger like a muscle. When pushed, weakens when not in use. Those people who only do what's easy never tap as much as they could because they have never gone above and beyond their limits. But those who accept, they become stronger by dealing with pain, build a strong mentality. They become the ones who plan their own lives. The world doesn't reward those who stay. Still, it rewards people who are brave enough to move forward against all odds. When the Wright brothers tried to take over the sky, people didn't believe them. When Henry Ford changed the way cars were made, business, he was made fun of. When Thomas Edison had failed a lot of times before, getting the light bulb just right, they called him stupid. But these men, not looking for comfort, they took hold of something much bigger. Tough to know that on the other side, greatness lay in the fight. That most people who choose this path will hold on to what is known, to what makes them feel safe. They will remind them that tomorrow it's a better day to start, that the risk is too great, that they're happy where they are. So years will go by and they will remember and ask yourself why they didn't. They got what they had dreamed of, but for those who know this to be true, the end of a time, it's clear that growth happens when you push yourself past what is. You know what happens when you when you choose to push yourself. It's time to step into the unknown. During times of pain, when you are full of worry, you are tired. When you want to give up, that you are most likely to change the difference between people who succeed, and it's not hard for those who don't do it. The thing that makes you smart is not ability. Luck is being ready to do what needs to be done. Hard to keep going when everyone else gives up. Give up short-term pleasure for long-term happiness. So which will you choose? Pick the safety of stopping, or the pain of making progress will keep you. The other will take you where you are. The answer will get you where you need to go. Figure out your future three, the key to getting past problems. On the way to getting ahead isn't always easy, full of problems, setbacks, and problems. But these aren't signs to, when you look back, they're proofs that you're going in the right direction. Anyone who has ever been great has done it. No kingdom has ever been built without a fight. not fought back against every loss. Every loss, every struggle is just a step towards something bigger. If you choose to see it that way, the best thing you can do for yourself is resilience is the power to get back up after every fall, to keep going when you want to give up so badly inside. Having this trait is what difference between those who win and those who want weak people to give up when they having trouble with the strong use problems as fire for the smartest minds, the leaders of their fields and the dreamers of change. Everyone has had a hard time, too much, but they won't let it happen. Describe them instead of letting it get better. Make them think of the biggest tree in the forest. It didn't get strong because it wasn't put to the test. It got stronger because it stood through the storms that bent but did not break when the wind tried to pull it over. It tried to drown in the rain, but it stood, getting stronger with each test. So has been with you through the hard times. To hurt you, they're meant to make you stronger. Your strength is your defense against failure, is what will carry at you forward when your drive wanes. And do not be fooled. Desire will fade the pollen. At first, the excitement of a new goal, the fire that starts, will dim, and when it does, most people trip. But not those who have learned to be strong. They keep going even when the journey becomes hard, even when success seems far away. They know that the prize isn't given in a single moment. In the idea, but in the persistence of having a hard time, here's the truth. It's not something you are born with, something you make, and it's made in the times you don't want to give up. Every time you face trouble and decide to keep going, you make it stronger every time. You go down and up again, you get bigger. Your ability to handle even bigger. History shows this to be true, Mr. Clay. Edison failed a huge number of times in the past. Mr. Lincoln worked on improving the light bulb, went through defeat after loss before rising to the most important job in the country, Mr. Clays. Ford was made fun of before he changed everything about the car business. Why did they do what they did? Gave up their names, would be forgotten that they didn't have any effect. But because they kept going, they carved what is their place in history. Will you stay strong or give up? There are many quitters in the world. Those who put up with short-term pain, tell them what to do. But for those who keep going, for those who won't accept, failure is final, and there's no way to what you can achieve. Make a smart choice, for your fate lies in that choice. For setting goals works, and it's not a fluke. There was clear intent behind it, something, and that something starts with a goal. Without a goal, you're just a ship, wandering around aimlessly without a map. It's not the wind's fault. Achieving something has always come from by chance. Every huge success story starts with a clear main goal, an idea that is so clear and strong that it turns into a burning obsession. The world's rich and famous they're not just thinkers, they do things. Sit around and wait for luck to find you. They gave them clear goals to work toward. Break them down into steps you can take, and action without stopping. This is the formula for success. It's not knack, luck, or power that decides who rises to greatness and who stays average. Being able to set a goal and stick to it. Follow through with unwavering determination. You need to do the same thing and decide what you need to be clear about what you want to uncertain outcomes. A man who only wants to be great will never get there because he hasn't said what success means to him. But But the person who says, certain that he will really do it, get a certain amount of money and build a certain business or master a certain, he has already taken the first step toward getting this skill, making it happen after once you've chosen your goal, write it down. Writing helps thoughts become clear, changes an idea into something, a real goal that only lives in the mind is a wish, but a written goal. When clarity turns into a promise, it turns into making a deal with yourself that you must respect. But a goal by itself is enough. You need to make a plan to break your goal into steps that you can handle. Each step must be able to be done, measured, and time-bound. Sure, success doesn't happen overnight, but in the small, steady efforts that, over time, the most skilled people know this, but they don't just think about the end result. The things that need to be done every day to reach it. And most importantly, do something every day. A plan that isn't carried out is, that kind of person is everywhere in the world, who wish but never do. They never do anything because they wait for the right time, moment, the right chance. But the only way to be perfect is to imagine it. Moving forward is through imperfect effort. Action without stopping. Don't let fear or let doubt stop you, man who hesitates. Those who doubt, who waits for, with permission, he stays where he is, moving forward. But the man who does what? Learns from his mistakes and gets better. His method and keeps going despite. He is the one who shapes his chances. Fate, since a goal without effort it was only a wish, and wishes don't change the world. Action is focused and planned, and follow through action. The choice is, you will be the dreamer who waits for mine, or the person who does 5 things gets 5 power. Believe in yourself. There is a force stronger than skills, more important than ability. It is faith that stays strong, certainty that you are able to doing anything you set your mind to. Smarts aren't enough on their own. It's not enough to be alone. The world is full with people who are very skilled and who never do as well as they could. Why? Because they don't believe. They let doubt to hurt their dream. They pay attention to the people who tell them they are not good enough, so they stay stuck and held back by their own thoughts. You should not make that mistake. You are the only one who can set bounds. Agree that success isn't just for the lucky few. It's open to everyone who is brave enough to claim it before the people can believe in you. You have to have faith in yourself, even if no one else does. No one else does, even when failure says that you should give up, even if things look like they are against you. Because the mind is where success starts, first born in thought before it shows up in real life. If you can see it, if you can really feel it, if you believe it, you can do it. It's not just hope. It's a basic truth of success. Every great in history, the first big achievement was a thought about a picture that was so clear in the thought of the person who made it that nothing could. Yes, Mr. Edison did believe in the light bulb long before it could light up a room. Mr. Ford had faith in the car. Before it changed everything, the Wright brothers thought humans could fly. They did this before any plane took off. Didn't look for proof and didn't wait for it. Permission, they thought. And their belief came true. But belief is not real. Inactive thing that isn't just wanting luck and waiting for it to come. Having a strong belief takes action. Stick with it, be determined, and the desire to get past problems. When problems arise, they will believe that what keeps you going is makes loss into a way to move forward. A place to start, most people give up. At the first sign of trouble they see, fail to show that they are not able, but only those who really believe know that failing isn't then a lesson. It was an important step on the relevant. They don't let doubt get in the way of their success. They don't let fear take root. Tell them what to do, they press on, knowing that belief, when put together with never-ending work, turns into an unstoppable force. So what are you going to do? Don't let doubt decide your fate. Or will you work on having a strong belief that something is meant for you? The more options you have, the better. The key to your future dare is in the choice you make. To believe in yourself and see your success coming happens. Act with faith, because people who have faith in themselves, who won't accept limits, those who stick to their goal no matter what, these are the people who 6 challenges that will change the world. Passion is what turns fails into wins. It makes problems into stepping stones, is the flame that burns inside those who don't be satisfied with average. When you can, are really interested in something, no. Failure is strong enough to stop you, no. Failure is permanent, but desire changes things. Problems into chances and changes the making the impossible possible without its short-lived success and goal. Look at the people who have faded. They weren't driven to change the world by money, not fame. Their desire drove them to do great things. Creators and business leaders who rebels in thought, but they didn't work just to make money. They did because they had faith in something more important than themselves. Thomas Edison was relentless in his search for using power, not working for thousands, many times, but never lost sight of his. In his fantasy, Henry Ford was made fun of when he braved bringing the car to the crowd, but he kept going because his passion was stronger than any problem. Wright brothers had to deal with doubters and failure, but their desire to fly raised them above all opposition. Anger is the thing that sets those who wish from people who are successful. When you are, if you really want to quit, you should never an anytale. Choice for those who don't have passion, give up. As soon as they saw trouble coming, they fail is the end, not the beginning. But passionate people see failure as a lesson or a short-term roadblock. Setbacks help them get where they want to go, as fuel to keep them going. The problem turns into a task to be solved. Instead of a reason to hide, find that thing that makes your heart race, that thing that wakes you up at night, that makes you think of things, that makes you do something even when the odds are against you if you're a man. Passion floats through life without being sparked, unmet. But a man who has found his desire becomes uncontrollable, and he wakes up, getting up every day with a plan, ready to take another step toward his. He doesn't need outside eyes. Drive, because his desire drives him from the heart. But emotion by itself is not enough. It needs to be backed up by rules, determination, and drive to act without. Work is just a dream. The world is full of people who talk about what they love, but they never do what needs to be done. Steps to make their dreams come true. Passion needs to be controlled and kept going with steady effort. Follow your interest without stopping. Wait until the right time, for it's not possible to be perfect. You are happy with what you have. Let your desire lead you and drive you. It makes you brave in the face of problems, because a life without fire is dull, is a life half-lived, and people who live deeply. Those who dedicate being fully committed to their goal are the ones who leave their mark on the 40 world. The question is whether you will be one of 7 of them saw loss as a fail, as a moving stone, is not the, instead of success, it's a part of success. Every loss you face is not a warning to stop, but a lesson to learn. It tests how determined you are, a stop on your way to achievement. The most important men in history, the pioneers, the stars, and the game changers, have failed more times than they did well, but their mistakes did not. Frank Lloyd Wright built them, so break them. Failed more than 0 times before making the electric light bulb better each. Having failed brought him closer to his goal. Show him what didn't work, so he could improve what Henry Ford had to deal with. Going bankrupt before changing the... Abraham Lincoln and the car business suffered many political losses before he became one of the most. In the past of presidents, these men did not help let failure define them. Let it make them better. The only real. If you keep stopping, you'll fail. Going. You haven't failed. You've only learned that every failure has a lesson inside it. The seed of something equal to or bigger. Chance for the person who knows this truth never gives up when things go wrong. He instead asks, what can I learn from this? Is there a way I can use this to, that he turns failure into growth, turned into a powerful tool for success? Most those who fail see it as an end. They face one defeat, and they'll be persuaded, and themselves, that they can't be successful. They take loss personally, which lets it happen, make them less confident, and their goal. But failing is not in it a sign of weakness. It is an call to make the difference better between people who do well and people who don't. Is easy for successful people to keep, no matter how many times they fail, and learn from it. Shows flaws that need to be fixed, strategies that need to be improved, changed, and ways of thinking that need to be changed. It makes you grow. Grit, to learn how to be patient and to improve the way you talk to the man who takes loss as a part of the journey, will eventually get where he's going. The person who is afraid of failing will never. There's no shame in taking the first step. If you fail, the only shame is not trying. Get back up if you trip and fall. If you run into problems that seem impossible to beat, remember that there are different parts to a great story. Failure, it's not whether you will fail. The question is how you will message me when you do, please. Failure to beat you, or will you use it to your advantage, to make you more determined? The answer to this question will tell you if you will either become great or stay among people who gave up too soon were successful. Goes to the man who won't give up, who doesn't see loss as a bad thing, but as a giving an important step on the way to victory. So don't be sad about loss. Let it teach you and mold you. Let it push you forward, because as long as you keep going, you haven't really failed. You've only been getting ready for victory number 8, the role of Tupime, learning how to be great every day. The day you stop learning, more information is power, and it's the base on which all success is built. No man has ever been great by being happy with what he had, already has a good grasp on the mind, must be fed and trained all the time. New ideas that are better after being used and honed by the search for knowledge. People who believe but don't learn, they're at the top of their game. Information, without realizing it, start their Turn down the most famous people in the world are students for life. If you think they know enough, read more. Eagerly taking in the knowledge of, they are looking for those who came before them, guides, people who have been there before. They want to go where they invest in their own growth by knowing that another tool is a new lesson learned to their weapons. They know that lack of knowledge is the worst enemy of the Lord, growth, and they keep it from happening by always learning more about the subject. Look at the world around them and think about the smartest people in history, Thomas. Edison, despite being very smart, never stopped trying new things and learning from. Henry Ford was surrounded by his failures, himself with people who knew more than him, did to make sure his business stayed open. Carnegie built something ahead of its time. It wasn't because he had all the answers, but because he was smart enough to find out from people who have done each. Some of these men knew that their success, based on how well they could, always be willing to learn and change. What you know now, the things that what worked for you yesterday might not be enough to keep you going tomorrow. The world, as businesses change and new ideas come up, appear, and people who don't want to learn are those who are still open to a new growth, who are always looking for new knowledge, put themselves in the information alone isn't the key to success, is not enough. A guy must be used. You could read or listen to 100 books, 1,000 talks, but if he doesn't do anything, he bases what he knows on what he learns. No more valuable than not knowing the truth. The power to learn lies in its how wise an application is not measured not by what you know, but by what you do with. Learn something new every day. Every day, make it a habit to read something useful. Put yourself around people who push your thoughts and learn from those who have done what you want to do. Write down what you've learned and use them to help you reach your goal of good luck. Don't let a day go by without learning anything new, for in this way you guarantee your continued. You can grow because there are no limits, and information is the key to getting it open. The man who dedicates himself to learning for life will always do better than the man who thinks he already knows enough. So the question is not if you have what it takes to succeed. The question is, will you hold on to the information that will make success certain? 9, taking action. It's easy to think and talk, but deed is what is different between from the failed to the successful. There are many men in the world with great ideas, men who talk very well about men with goals who say they will finish great things, but ideas without action, words are just words. Without action, there is no power. Only for people who take taking regular steps toward their goals. You can know everything there is to know, but if you don't do anything, not having any useful information doesn't build companies or make money. Does not help the person who reads 100 books about being successful, but always puts what he has learned to use be passed by the person who only reads one and does something about it. Action is the link between what you know and what you do, is the power that changes dreams to be true. Too many people they wait until the right time for the one ideal circumstances, for the stars to align. But here's the truth. There isn't one. There has never been a more perfect moment, but now the conditions will never come up. It will never be perfect, and waiting will only waste time on people who succeed of those who act, not those who wait. Even though they aren't sure, they know that not hesitating is what makes progress, but the most important step you can take is the first one that it doesn't matter how small it is, that you start every big journey, every big step starts with a single one. Getting things done starts with a single choice to move forward with the business owner who builds a company with just one idea, one sale, and one customer. A writer who makes a masterpiece begins with just one word on a white page. The beginning of a leader who changes the world is one brave act does not belong to that you think too much. Don't wait. You're not ready until you feel ready. Being ready isn't what makes you successful. When you act before you're ready, when you take the first step, you set a strong force moving things around, makes motion. Momentum grows. Trust and faith in turn lead to more, something. And soon what seemed when impossible turns into unavoidable. There will be problems and setbacks. Some things will fail, but these aren't. They are reasons to keep going instead of reasons to stop. Going every mistake is a chance to learn. People who fail are able to find their way. Keeping going even when things get hard are those who rise to power ask, will you be the one who waits? Or are you going to be the one to act? Your answer will determine what happens in the future. It's not about what you plan to do, about the things you do all the time. Act now, not tomorrow or someday. Start out small, but nothing takes place until you take the first step, and you do. You'll see that action the real thing is just thoughts, not just words. You have everything you need to be successful. I want to do well. The only question is, are you going to use it or step into the light? Will you do what is hard even though it hurts? Are you going to settle for average? You can make your choice, but keep this in mind. Now is the time, not tomorrow. One day, take charge and do what's hard, and see how your life changes. There are many people who want to be great, but not many who are. I'll do anything to help you get what you want, to stand out, learn, and really do well. It takes work to achieve great things every single day, because the truth is that you will lose if you avoid the fight. Stay away from success too, but are you ready to make some changes? Follow these steps to do well. The thing you've been after is what great things only happen after a lot of hard work. A choice to leave something behind. Don't stress out and understand how hard this is. And the winning rule that can't be broken. What makes growth possible in the growth? Difference between people who give up and people who succeed. They give up when they fail in one fact about what they can do. Some people say no to the people's pleas for comfort, safety, and a way to get there that can be planned, but history doesn't remember those who, if you want to stay in the comfort zone, knows who goes into no one knows who can stand up to trouble and who have the unwavering passion with the drive to make hard times into control the mind once it's been trained, and when led in the right direction becomes a strong force that people know about, but it can only happen through resistance. Get stronger like the blacksmith. Since fire makes steel stronger, the mind must be shaped by trials. The great people in business, creators, people who thought a lot and changed the world, they chose the hard way out instead of the easy one. There were many things in their way on the road. Learn that the amount of pain is going up. When you you have a hard time separating yourself from a crowd. You get stronger and you make thoughts that can't fail people who are scared. People who avoid pain might never know how far they can go since they never really pushed it, but people who you will quickly learn to look forward to the pain of being punished. Enjoy what you get from sticking with it. The will of those makes heaven and earth bend, who are not ready to give up the fight for. Getting ahead doesn't happen in the outside world by itself. The battles are in the priestess parts of the mind that worry, question, and bet. They will be tempted by being worn out, telling you to end the trip. Now comes the real test. Will you move forward or will you escape? And that choice will shape your fate. Every leader ever. People who have made a step forward that will always be remembered at this point they could feel how heavy of being worn out and the pain of failing there was darkness and fear, but they kept going. They knew that just past the point of pain is a prize that most people will never get when they have a clear goal in mind and strong forces back up the will. If you keep going, nothing is impossible. Just dreaming isn't enough. Taking action is what connects hope and doing something. What really took place and what was done in the spark is having to deal with pain. The best is saved for change. For those brave enough to make it through, the only question is, are you going to be one? Because of these two things, comfort is bad for. A lot of people live their whole lives looking for the comfort they want. In order to stay safe, they avoid taking risks. They bind themselves without being aware of it. Average ease isn't what it seems like. It makes you sleepy, putting you in a comfortable state, making you think you're safe, that you're glad, but safety. And when people say they are happy, they are lying. Take away from growth. Look around. Every great new thought. Pain was the start of a story of progress. The boss who was willing to risk a lot. The worker who worked out so hard it hurt. The artist who poured, who work hard and give it their all after being turned down. People wouldn't let ease in. Describe them. They knew that safety, having a good look, is bad for progress. As you use it, your mind gets stronger. When pushed, weakened, when not in use, those people who only do what's simple never tap because they have never gone the extra mile. Those who know their limits, they get stronger by going through pain, form a strong mind. They become the ones who made their own plans. The people who stay don't get anything good in life. It does, however, reward those who are strong enough to move against all odds when the right brothers tried to take over the sky. When Henry Ford changed how cars were made. Business. People made fun of him when he had failed many times before. Getting the light bulb just right. They said he was stupid, but these men, there wasn't any comfort in their search. They grabbed a much bigger thing. It's hard to understand that from the other side, the fight that most people won't do is what makes you great. Most people who go this route will hold on to what is aware of what makes them feel safe. They will tell them again that today is a better day to begin than yesterday. That's great that they're happy where they are. So years will pass and they will. Don't forget and ask yourself why they didn't. They got what they wanted, but people who know this to be true, it's clear that growth takes place when you go beyond what is. What goes through your mind when you dare to push yourself when you want to? It's time to go into the unknown. When you are in pain, when you are tired, when you are worried, when you want to give up what you most likely to change. The big difference between people who do well and people who don't do it will find it easy. Not being able to do things is what makes you smart. Being ready to do what needs to be done is what makes you lucky. It's tough to keep going when everyone else gives up. Give up pleasures for... Which will you pick? Long-term happiness or something else? Choose whether stopping is safer or the pain of moving forward will keep you going. You can take the other one where you are. You can get where you need to go with this answer. Figure out your next three things are the key to getting through tough spots on the way to... It's not always easy to get ahead, full of problems and failures. That being said, these aren't signs to... They're proof that you're heading in the right way. Great people from the past have all done it. There have been fights before every country was built. Not come back against every loss. Every loss and every fight is just take a bigger step if you want to look at it that way. This is the best thing you can do for yourself. Being resilient means being able to get back up after every fall to keep going when inside you want to give up so badly. Having this trait means difference between people who win and people who want, people who are weak to give up when they having trouble with the strong use. Trouble is like fire for the smartest people, the top people in their areas, and the dreamers of change. It's been hard for everyone. They won't let it happen because it's too much. Write about them instead of waiting for things to get better. Ask them to name the biggest tree in the meadows forest. It didn't get strong because wasn't tested. It got stronger because it stood strong during the winds that broke, but did not break it. Not break when the wind tried to flip it over. It stood even though it was raining and tried to drown, getting better with each test. So, has been with you through the tough times. They're not trying to hurt you. They want to make you better. Your strength is what protects you from the thing that will carry you move forward when your motivation starts to fade. And don't be fooled. Hunger will fade. At first, the thrill of a new goal, the fire that starts it gets dark, and most people trip when that happens. But not strong people. They don't stop even when the trip gets hard, even when you succeed. They know that the prize isn't given all at once, in the idea, but in the determination of having trouble. The truth is this: you're not born with it. Something you make when you don't want to give up. Every time you have a problem, and to keep going, each time you make it better. You get bigger as you go down and up. How well you can handle even bigger. This is true based on history, Mr. Edison had a lot of failures in the past. Mr. Lincoln worked to make the light bulb better, went through defeat after defeat before rising to the country's most important job, Mr. Gather's. Ford was made fun of before he changed the car business in every way. What were they thinking when they did that? Gave up their names. Would be forgotten that they didn't do anything. But they carved because they kept going. Where do they fit in history? Are you going to stay strong or give up? There are lots of people who give up. People who can handle short-term pain. Tell them what to do, but for those who won't accept, keep going. If you fail, you're done for good. Choose wisely based on what you can accomplish. That decision will decide your fate. It's not a fluke that setting goals works. There was clear reason for it. There is something that starts with a goal. Without a goal, you're just a ship, being lost and not having a map at all. It's not the wind's fault. Getting things done has always come from luck. Plays a part in every big success story. Starts with a clear main goal, a strong and clear thought that becomes an intense obsession. The rich and famous people in the world are not. They do things as well as think. Just wait for luck to come your way. They told them what they needed to do to reach their goals. Separate them into actions you can take and do something without stopping. This is the formula. That's why it's not skill, luck, or the power to choose who gets to, who becomes famous, and who stays the same. Having the discipline to follow through on a promise, unwavering drive to see things through. Just like them, you need to decide what. Make sure you know what you want. With unknown results, a man who only wants to be great will never get there, since he hasn't said what success means to him, but the person who says, I'm sure that he will do it, get a certain amount of money and make some business or learn how to do a certain, he has already done the first thing that will help him learn this skill. Getting it done after you've write down your goal once you've decided what it is. Writing helps you understand what you're thinking, makes an idea into something. A real goal that can only be found in the mind is a dream, but a goal in writing. When clarity turns into a promise, it becomes committing to yourself that you must follow. But a goal in and of enough, you need to break your goal down into steps that you can handle. Must be able to be done, measured, and have a due date. Sure, you won't be successful right away, but in the slow, small steps that, over time, the best, they know this, but they don't do it. Don't just think about what will happen, what needs to be done every day to get there. Most importantly, do something every day. A plan that isn't carried out is. There are people like that all over the world who want but don't do. They wait for the right time to act and never do anything. The right time and chance. But to be perfect, you can only picture it. We can only move forward by making poor efforts. Do something without stopping. Don't let fear or let doubt stop you, man who is on the fence. People who aren't sure, who waits for, unless told otherwise, he stays where he is, moving forward. But who does what? Gets better and learns from his mistakes, his method, and keeps going, even though he decides what his chances are. Fate. Because a goal that doesn't require work is, a wish isn't enough to change the way things are. Action in the world is organized and planned. Choice is to take action and follow through. You will be the one who waits for my dreams, or someone who does 5 things gets 5 power. Have faith in yourself. There is a force stronger than you, better than skills that are more important than strength. It's faith that keeps you going, faith that you can do it, getting things done whenever you want. Being smart isn't enough by itself. Being alone isn't enough. The world is full of people, with skilled people who, why do they never do as well as they could? They let it happen because they don't believe. They are aware that worry can hurt their dream, so they pay attention to those who say they are. They stay because it's not good enough. Their own thoughts kept them stuck and stopped them. You shouldn't make that mistake You are the only one who can make rules. I agree that success isn't just for the lucky few. Anyone can go. Who is brave enough to claim it before You have to believe in yourself before others will. Believe in yourself even if no one else does. No one else does. Even if failure says that you should give up, even if it looks like the odds are against you. Because success begins in the mind, first born in thought before it, if you can see it in real life, if you can really feel it, you can do it if you think you can. You need more than hope to be happy. The truth about success, the first big thing to happen in history was a thought about a picture that stood out in the thought about the person who made it and how nothing else could. Oh yes, Mr. Edison did think there would be light. A light bulb before it could light up a room. Mr. Ford believed in the car. Before it made everything different, the Wright brothers thought that people could fly. Before any plane took off, they did this. Didn't wait for proof or look for it. They thought it was okay, and their faith made things happen, but faith is not real. Anything that isn't just wanting, but is also acting. Have luck and wait for it to come. When you have a strong opinion, you act on it. Stay strong, don't give up, and the phlegm want to get past something when things go wrong. They'll think that what keeps you going turns loss into a way to move on, a place to begin. Most people give up as soon as they see trouble, not show that they are not able, but only people who really believe. Keep in mind that failure it was more than just a lesson. It was a big step toward, without question, they are able to achieve their goals. Fear doesn't take hold with them. Tell them what to do, and they'll keep going. Being aware of that idea, when put together with tasks that never end, become impossible to stop. What are you going to do? Don't let fear decide what will happen to you, or will you try to believe in yourself more? That something is meant for you. Being able to choose from many things is better. What you choose will determine how daring you are in the future. To have faith in yourself and see your success coming. Do what you believe will happen, because people who believe in themselves, who won't agree to limits those who never give up on their goal, these are the people who will 6 tasks that will make the world a better place. Passion is what makes mistakes into wins. Problems become steps to get to another goal. Is the fire inside those who don't settle for average when you can do better, are really interested in something. Giving up is enough to make you fail. No. Failure is always there, but desire can change things. This turns problems into chances and changes the blame, making impossible things doable without progress and goal. Only last for a short time. Look at the people who are no longer there. They didn't want to make the world a better place. By cash, not fame. They did great things because they wanted to. Makers and business leaders who rebels in their minds, but they didn't act on it. Work just to make money. And they did. Because they believed in something. Thomas Edison, more important than they were, was determined to find power isn't working for thousands, many times, but he never lost sight of. In his dream, people made fun of Henry Ford when he was brave to bring the car to a crowd, but he kept going because there was more passion than trouble. They had to deal with people who didn't believe them, having failed. But their desire to fly raised them above all anger from the opposition, is what makes those who wish from people who are successful when you should never. An alternative for people who don't care, give up as soon as they knew trouble was going to come. Failure is the end, not the flag at the start. But passionate people see bad luck as a lesson or a short-term problem. Things going wrong help them get where they want to go. As fuel to keep them going, the issue turns into a challenge to be met. Find a reason to show up instead of hiding. That thing that gets your heart racing. That thing that gets you up at night, that makes you consider things, that makes you do something even when if you're a man, the odds are against you. If you don't spark passion, it just floats through life. Not been met, but a man who has found, he wakes up when his desire gets out of hand, having a plan every day, ready to move forward in another way. He doesn't need other people to see him. Drive, because he wants to do it from the heart. But feeling is not enough. It needs rules to back it up, set goals, and the drive to act without. Work is just a dream, full of people who talk about they love each other, but they never do what they should. Ways to help them reach their goals. You need to keep your passion in check and worked hard and kept going. Keep going in the direction of your interest. Do not do until the right time. You can't be perfect. You're pleased with what you've done. Follow your goal and let it drive you. It makes you strong when you face headaches, because life without fire is dull, is a life not fully lived, and people who live, many thanks to those who give, giving their all to reach their goal, are the ones who leave their mark on the 40 world. The question is whether you'll be one of 7 of them thought of loss as not failing as a moving stone is not it's not success. It's a part of victory. And every loss you go through is not a way to tell you to stop, but a lesson to learn. It checks how ready you are for a place to stop on the way to honor the most important men in history. Pioneers, stars, and people who changed the game have failed more often than they did well. But their mistakes they were made by Frank Lloyd Wright, so break them. More than 0 times before getting the light bulb better. Being close to his goal made him fail. Show him what did not work, so he could make things better for Henry Ford. Going out of business before changing the Abraham Lincoln and the business of making cars. Lost a lot of major races before he turned into one of these men did not help in the past of leaders. Let them be defined by failure. Only thing that matters is that it makes them better. You will fail if you keep stopping. You haven't failed going. You've only learned that every mistake has a lesson to teach. The start of something bigger or the same. Chance for someone who knows this. When things go wrong, truth never gives up. He wants to know, what can I learn from this? Could I use this so he can learn from mistakes and grow? Became a very useful tool for success most. People who fail see it as the end of their lives. If they lose once, they'll change their minds. They are telling themselves they can't be successful. They let loss happen because they take it personally. Make them feel less happy, and it's not their goal to fail, but a sign of being weak. Get in touch to make things better. Between people who do well and people who it's easy for wealthy people to stay away from, no matter how many times they make mistakes and learn from them, finds problems that need to be fixed, plans that need to be made better. We need to change the way we think, and when things change, you grow. Drive to learn how to wait their turn and to change the way you talk to the man who sees death as a part of the journey is going to get there in the end. Someone who is scared of losing will never. It's okay to take the first step. If you don't try, you'll only feel bad about yourself. If you trip and fall, get back up. Things go wrong that seem impossible to beat. Keep in mind that a good story has many parts. It's not whether you fail or not. The question is how you will fail. Please send me a message when you do. Do you want to let loss beat you, or do you want to use it to your benefit, to help you be more sure of the answer to this question? Will let you know if you will either get better or stay the same. It worked for people who gave up too soon. Winner is the man who doesn't give up, who doesn't think of loss as a bad thing, but as taking a big step toward. Don't be sad about losing because you won. Let it shape you and teach you. Let it push you forward, because as long you haven't really failed, as long as you keep going. You've only been getting ready for 8th victory, the part of every day I learn how to be great. The last day of school. If you know more, you're stronger. The foundation on which all success is built, there has been no great man. Being content with what he had, already knows a lot about the mind, always needs to be fed and taught. new thoughts that work better after being used and shaped by the desire to learn. People who think they know what they're doing but don't, they're doing their best. Information without being aware of it, they turn down the most well-known people in TAC2 as the world will always be kids. Read more if you think they already know enough. Happily taking in the information of they want to find the people who came before them. Helps people who have been there before. It's where they want to put their money. It helps them grow to know that a new lesson learned is another tool to their guns. They understand that it's dangerous to not know something. It doesn't happen because they stop it by learning more about the subject all the time. Take a look at the world around them and think about the smartest people in history. Even though Edison was very smart, he never stopped being open to new experiences and learning from. Henry Ford was surrounded by things that went wrong. Himself with people who knew more than him did to keep his business open. Carnegie made something that was ahead of its time. It wasn't because he had however, because he was smart enough to talk to people who have done each. Some of these men knew that their progress depended on how well they could be ready to learn and change all the time. What you know now, the things that what worked yesterday might not work today. Enough to keep you going tomorrow, the world. As times shift and fresh concepts emerge, people who don't want to learn are people who are still willing to, people who are always looking for new, people who put themselves in the data by itself is not the key to success, is not enough. You need to use a guy. You could read or listen to 100 books. He can talk all day, but if he doesn't do anything, what he knows comes from what he learns, not worth more than not knowing the truth. It has the power to learn. You can't tell how smart an app is not by what you know, but by what you do with every day. Learn something new. Make it a habit to read something helpful every day. Spend time with people who think outside the box and learn from people who done what you wanted to do. Note down what you've learned. They can help you reach your goal of have fun and don't miss a day, not having learned anything new This way, you can be sure that you can get bigger because you can do anything, and knowledge is the key to getting it open. The man who works in order to learn for life will always do better than the person who thinks he already knows enough, so there's no need to ask. In case you have what it takes to do well, will you answer? Keep the information that will make sure 9 taking fails. Do something. It's simple to think and talk, but what makes them different is from what failed to what worked. There are lots of smart guys in the world. Men who are good at talking about men who say they will reach their goals, finish great things, but words are just words if they are not used. Power has to be used to be useful, only for careful people. As they take small steps toward their goals, you can learn everything there is to learn, but if you don't do anything, it is not having any useful knowledge doesn't make you less smart. Business doesn't grow or make money that way. Doesn't help the reader more than one book on how to be great, but he always uses what he has learned. Be read by someone who only reads, someone who acts on it and does something about it. How what you know affects what you do is the strength to make dreams come true. To be honest, too many people wait. They do not do anything until the right time. The stars were in the perfect place to align, but the truth is that there isn't one. There has never been a better time, but now it is. They will never happen again. No matter how long you wait, it will never be right. Don't waste time on successful people. People who do something, not people who wait. They know that even though they aren't sure, Don't be afraid to move forward, but the most important thing you can take is the first one it doesn't matter how little it is, that you begin all big trips. There is always a first step. It only takes one to get things done. Decision to go ahead with a business owner who builds with just one buyer, one sale, and one idea. The process of writing a masterpiece started with just one word on a white page. The start of a world-changing leader is, one brave thing does not belong to that you think too much. Don't wait. You need to feel ready before you are ready. It's not enough to be ready to do well. When you do something before you're ready, when you do the first thing, you set a strong force moving things around, increases the speed of motion. Faith and trust lead to more, something. And soon, what looked like, when the impossible becomes the unavoidable, trouble and failures are going to happen. These won't fail, but other things will. These are not reasons to stop, but to keep going. Every mistake is a chance to get better. People can find their way even when they fail. Not giving up when things get tough are the people who get power ask, are you going to wait, or are you going to take the lead? What happens in the future will depend on your answer. It's not about what you mean to do, about the normal things you do. Do it right now, not tomorrow or later. Begin small, but nothing happens until you do something, and it will not happen if you do that. Thoughts, not words, are what the real thing is. You have everything you need to do well. Should you want to do well, the only question is, are you going to use it or go into the prime? Are you going to do what hurts even though it's hard? Are you going to settle for average? You can pick what you want, but remember this, it's now or never tomorrow. Do what's hard and take charge one day, and see what happens to you. A lot of people want to be great, but not many actually are. I'll do anything to help you get what you want. To get noticed, learn, and do great. To do great things, you have to work hard. Things every single day, because you will actually lose if you try to avoid the fight. Also, stay away from success. But are you ready to alter things? Do well by following these steps. What you've been after it takes a lot of work to make great things happen. A choice to leave something behind. Know how hard this is, and don't stress out. The rule that can't be broken to win. What makes it possible for the difference between those who get to people who fail and people who give up? When they fail, they give up. One thing they can do, some people don't listen to people when they ask for comfort, safety, and a way to get there that can be planned, but history doesn't remember those who stay in your safe zone who goes into no one is strong enough to stand up to having trouble, and who have with the drive to turn bad times into master the mind once it's been taught, and being led in the right way is a strong force that everyone knows about. It can only happen if people fight it. Get stronger like a blacksmith. Fire makes steel stronger, so the mind must be. Tests that made the great people who run businesses, make things, people who made the world a better place by thinking deeply. They didn't take the easy way out, they picked the hard one. On the road, there were many things that got in their way. Found out that it's getting worse. When you pick it is hard for you to separate yourself from a group. You get stronger, and you make thoughts that can help scared people through anything. People who stay away from pain may never know how far they can go, since they never really pushed it, but you'll quickly get used to the pain of being punished. Keep going and enjoy what you get from it. Those people's will bends heaven and earth who aren't ready to give up the fight for outside of school. Getting ahead isn't possible. world by itself. The fights happen in the firsters parts of the mind that stress, question, and they will give in because they are tired, telling you to end the trip. The real test now comes. Are you going to move forward or freedom? And that decision will shape your fate. Every leader ever, people who have moved forward, that people will always remember has, at this point they could feel how heavy, of being worn out, and the hurt of failing it was dark and scary, but they knew that, just kept going. Beyond the hurt spot is a prize that most people will never get when they know what they want to do, and will is backed up by strong forces. Nothing is impossible if you keep going. It's not enough to just dream. Taking action is what links having hope to doing something. What really happened and what was done in the spark has to deal with pain. The best is saved for later. For those brave enough to make it through, the only question now is, are you going to be one? Comfort is bad for these two reasons. A lot of people live their whole lives, tries to find the comfort they need. They don't take chances because they want to stay safe. They are bound and don't even know it. Average ease isn't what it seems to be. It makes you tired, making you feel good, making you feel safe, that you are happy, but safety, and people lie when they say they are happy. Look around and take away from growth every great new idea. Pain was the beginning of a story of growth. The boss who was ready to take a lot of risks, the worker who worked out so hard it hurt, the artist who put in a lot of effort after being turned down, people wouldn't let ease in. Tell us about them. They knew that safety, looking good, slows you down. Your mind gets stronger as you use it. When pushed, they fell apart. When not in use, people who only do easy things never tap, because they have not gone the extra mile, who know what they can and cannot do. They get stronger when they're hurt. Build a strong mind. They become those who plan their own lives. Life is bad for people who stay. It does, however, reward people who can move. Against all chances, when the right brothers tried to take over the sky. So when Henry Ford changed the way cars were made, business, people made fun of him. When Thomas, he had failed many times before, getting the light bulb just right. They said he was stupid, but these men, their search didn't bring them any peace. They got a much bigger thing. From the other side, that's hard to get. What makes you great is the fight that most people won't do. Most people who go this way will keep what knows what makes them feel safe. They will do that. Tell them once more that tomorrow is it's better to start today than yesterday. It's great that they are content where they are, so years will go by and they will remember and think about why they didn't. Things went their way, but people who know this to be true, it's clear that things grow when you go past what is. What's going through your mind when you dare to, when you want to, push yourself. Now is the time to go into the unknown. When you're hurt, when you're stressed, you feel tired. When you want to give up what you most likely to change, a big difference between people who do well, and it will be easy for people who don't do it. You are smart because you can't do things. You're lucky that you're ready to do what needs to be done. When everyone else gives up, it's hard to keep going. Give up things you enjoy for, which one do you want? Long-term happiness or something else? Pick whether it's better to stop or you will keep going even though it hurts to move forward. Take the other one from where you are. This answer will help you get where you need to go. Figure out what you need to do next 3 times. Getting through rough spots on the way to getting ahead isn't always easy. That is full of issues and mistakes that Still, these aren't signs they show that you're going in the right direction. In the past, great people have all done it. Every country has had fights before it was built. Don't fight back against every loss. Every win and loss is just a do something bigger if that's one way to look at it. Doing this is the best thing for you. Not giving up means being able to get back up after every fall to keep going when you really want to give up. Having this trait means difference between people who win and people who want weak people to give up when they having trouble with the strong use. The smartest people get caught in trouble like fire. The best at what they do and the dreams. Everyone has had a hard time with the change. Because it's too much, they won't let it happen. Don't wait for things to get better before writing about them. Ask them to name the largest tree here. Forest, it didn't get strong because, not checked, it got stronger because it was strong even when the wind tried to break it. Not break when the wind tried to turn it over. It stood there even though it rained and tried to sink. Getting better every test, has been with you through the rough times. Their goal is to help you feel better, not hurt you. What keeps you safe is your strength. What will carry? You keep going when your drive starts to fade, and don't be fooled. Your hunger will go away. At first, setting a new goal was exciting. The fire that starts will, when it gets dark, most people trip, but not strong people. They don't stop when the trip is over. It's hard even when you win. They understand that the prize isn't given all at once. Not in the idea, but in the choice of having trouble. Here's the truth. You don't have it by birth. Something you make in when you don't want to give up every time something goes wrong and to keep going, because each time you do, it gets better. As you go up and down, you get bigger. How well you can handle even bigger. Based on past, this is true, Mr. Edison failed a lot of times in the past. He worked on the light bulb to make it better. Went through defeat after loss before rising. To the most important job in the country, Mr. Ford was made fun of before he changed everything about the car business. How did they feel when they did that? Gave up their names, would be forgotten that they didn't do anything. But they cut because they didn't give up. How do they fit into history? Are you going to give up or stay strong? A lot of people give up. People who can handle pain in the short term, tell them what to do, but for people who keep going, for those who won't accept, you're done for good if you fail. Think about what you can do before you make your choice. Your fate will depend on that fourth choice. Setting goals really does work. There was a good reason for it. Something starts with a goal. Without a goal, you're just a ship, being lost and not having any maps. It's not the wind's fault. It's always been. Every big success story has a bit of luck to it. Starts with a clear main goal, a strong and clear idea that becomes a strong obsession. The rich and well-known people around the world are not. They think and do things. You should just wait for good luck to come your way. For them to meet their goals, they were told what to do. Break them up into things you can do, and this is how to do it. Do something without stopping. That's why it's not luck, skill, or the power to pick who gets to. Who stays the same, and who gets famous. Being able to keep a promise. Strong will to see things through. You have to decide what, just like they did. Know what you want before you go. Who only wants to understand what will happen. To be great will never get there, since he hasn't said what he thinks fame means to him. Means something to him, but the person who says, I am sure he will do it. Get some money and do something, some job, or find out how to do something. The first thing that will help him learn this skill is already done. Getting it done after once you know what your goal is, write it down. Writing down your thoughts helps you understand them, turns an idea into something, a real goal that can only be found in the mind is a dream, but a writing goal. It becomes clear when it turns into a promise, telling yourself that you must come after. But a goal in and of, you need to split your goal into manageable steps. Must be able to be done, measured, and have a due date. You won't be great right away, but in the little slow steps that over time, they know this, but they don't do it. Don't just think about what might happen, what every day needs to be done to get there. Most of all, do something everyone has a plan that they don't follow every day. All over the world, there are people like that, who want to do something, but they don't do anything because they wait for the right time, the best chance and time, but you can only imagine what it would be like to be perfect. We can only move forward by putting in poor work. Don't stop doing something. Don't let fear, or if you're on the fence, don't let fear stop you. People who don't know who to wait for, he stays where he is unless told to move. Things are moving forward, but who does what, gets better, and learns from his mistakes, his way, and keeps going, even though he chooses how likely things are for him. Luck, because a goal that doesn't need work it takes more than a dream to make things different. The world is organized and plans what will happen. Alternative is to act and see things through to the end. You'll be the one to wait for my hopes, or someone who does 5 things gets 5 power. Believe in yourself. There's something bigger than you, more important skills that are better than faith is what keeps you going. Have faith that you can do it. Being able to do things whenever you want. It's not enough to just be smart. There are lots of other people in the world, so being alone isn't enough. With skilled people why don't they do as well as they could? They don't believe, so they let it happen. They know that stress can harm their dreams, so they pay attention. To those who say they are, they stay because it's not good enough. They couldn't move because of their own thoughts. You should not make that mistake. You are the only one who can make rules. I agree that success isn't just for the lucky few. Anyone can go. Who is brave enough to claim it before the treble is matter? You have to have faith in yourself first, then other people will. Don't worry if other people don't believe in you. No one else does. Even if failure says that you should give up, even if it looks like the chances are not in your favor. Because the mind is where success starts, first born in thought before it, if you can see it in person, if you can really feel it, if you believe you can do it. To be happy, you need more than just hope. The easy way to be successful. History's first big event was picked out a picture that stood out I thought about the person who made it and how nothing else could have done it. Yes, Mr. Edison did believe there would be light. A light bulb before it could make a room bright. Mr. Ford had faith in the car. Before it changed everything, the Wright brothers believed that people had the power to fly. They did this before every plane took off. Didn't wait for or look for proof. They were fine with it. And things happen because of faith, but faith is not real. Anything that does more than just want them. Good luck and wait for it to come. If you really believe something, you make it happen. Don't give up, stay strong, and when you want to get past something, they'll believe that when things go badly, what keeps you going changes grief into a way to move on. Most people give up before they even get there. As soon as they sense trouble, are not show that they're not able, but only people who really believe. Remember that failing isn't the end of the world. It wasn't just a lesson. It was a big step toward, there's no doubt that they can reach their goals. They don't feel scared. They'll keep going if you tell them what to do. Being aware of that thought, when put together with, it's hard to stop doing things that never end, what are you going to do? Fear shouldn't decide what will happen to you, or are you going to try to have more faith in yourself, that something is meant for you? It's better to have many options. How brave you are in the future will depend on what you decide. To believe in yourself and see your success coming. Do what you think will happen, because people who are sure of their abilities, who isn't willing to keep those who never give up, these are the people who will. 6 things you can do to make the world a better place. Passion is what turns fail into win. There are steps you can take to reach your next goal. Is the fire inside those who, if you can do better, don't settle for average, are really interested in something. It's enough to give up to fail. No, things can always go wrong, but desire can make things different. This changes problems into chances, and the fire, making things that can't be done possible. Without goals and success only last a short time. Check out the people who aren't there anymore. They did not wish to improve the world. By money, not fame. They did great things since they were keen to do them. Who make decisions and run businesses. They thought of themselves as rebels, but they didn't do anything about it. Work just to get paid, which they did, because they had faith in something. Thomas Edison, more important than they were, was set on finding, for thousands, the power isn't on. He saw many times, but he never lost sight of. In his dream, Henry Ford was made fun of when he braved to bring the car to the bats. A crowd. But he kept going because many people were angry but not in trouble. Some people didn't believe them, having failed, but still wanting to fly. Put them above all anger from the other side. What makes those who wish from people who are successful when you should never, people who don't care can give up instead. As soon as they knew there would be trouble, giving up is the end, not the, at first, but determined people see. Bad chance to teach you a lesson or a short-term flaw. They get where they want to go when things go wrong. As fuel to keep them going, every concern turns into a test to be passed. Don't hide. Find a reason to show up. That thing that makes your heart beat fast. That thing that wakes you up at night, that makes you think about things, that makes you do something even when the odds are against you if you're a man. It will just float through life if you don't stir it up. Not met, but a man who, when his want gets out of hand, he wakes up. Every day, having a plan, ready to go in a different direction. He doesn't need anyone to see him. He wants to drive. Feels good, but comes from the heart. Enough, it needs rules to back it up. Set goals, and the drive to do things without. It's not possible to work. Full of people who talk about they love each other, but they don't behave properly. Ways to help them get what they want. You need to control your passion and did your best and kept going? Keep going in the way that interests you. Wait until the right time to do it. You can't be best. You're happy with what you did. Let your goal guide you. It helps you be strong when you face headaches, because life is dull without fire. Life that's not lived to the fullest, and people who live. Many thanks to those who giving everything they have to reach their goal are the ones who leave their mark on the preet. World, the question is, if you'll be one of 7 of them saw loss as a moving stones that don't break is not it's not success. It's a part of win. And every loss you go through is not a way to tell you to stop, but a lesson to learn. It checks to see if you're ready for a place to stop on the way to honor the history's most important guys. People who broke new ground, became stars, or changed the game have failed more often than they. did well. But their mistakes did not break them because Frank Lloyd Wright made them more than 0 times before making the light bulb better he failed even though he was close to his goal. Show him what didn't work, and he will. Could make things better for Henry Ford, leaving the business before making the Lincoln and the business of rolling out cars. A lot of important races were lost before he became one of the... In the past, these guys did not help heads of state. Let defeat outline who they are. It's only important that it makes them better. If you keep stopping, you will fail. Going, you haven't failed. You've only... I learned that every mistake can teach me something. The start of something bigger or the same. Chance for someone who knows this. Truth doesn't give up, even when things go badly. What can I learn from this, he asks. Could I use this so he can grow and learn with each mistake? Became a very useful tool for most. When people fail, they think their lives are over. They will change their minds if they lose once. They are telling themselves that they can't do well. The reason they let loss happen is that it hurts them. Less happy with them, and they don't want to fail, but a sign of being weak. Get in touch to make things better between people who do well and people who rich people can easily stay away from, no matter how many times they miss things and learn from them. Finds issues that need to be fixed. Better plans need to be made. We need to think and act differently. You grow when things change. Learn how to wait their turn and to how you talk to the man who death is seen as a part of the trip is finally going to get there. People who are afraid of losing will never. It's fine to start. You'll only feel bad about yourself if you don't try. Get back up if you trip and fall. Several things go wrong. Impossible to beat. Remember that there are many parts to a good story. It doesn't matter if you fail or not. How will you fail is the question. When you do, please send me a reply. Are you ready to let loss beat you, or are you ready to do something good with it? To help you be sure of the answer to this question will tell you if things will either get better or stay the same. People who gave up too soon were able to use it. The person who doesn't give up wins, who doesn't see loss as a bad thing, but as taking a big step toward you won, so don't be sad that you lost. Let it teach you and shape you. Let it push you forward, because as long as you keep going, you haven't really failed. You've only been getting ready for 8th victory, the part of I get better every day. The last day of school. You are stronger if you know more. The base on which all success is built. There hasn't been a great man. He was happy with what he had, already knows a lot about the mind, always needs to be taught and fed. Fresh ideas that work better after being used and shaped by the need to learn. Persons who believe they are skilled but aren't. Their best is being done. Information without realizing it. They turn down the most famous people in the world. Will always have kids. If you think they already know enough, read on. Being happy to take in the knowledge of, they want to find the people who lived before them. Helps people who have been there before. They want to put their money there. It helps them understand that another tool is a new lesson learned. They are set in their ways and know that not knowing something is bad. They stop it by so it doesn't happen. Every day I learn more about the subject. Look at the world around them and think about the smartest people ever. He never stopped being smart, even though being willing to try new things and learn from things were going wrong all around Henry Ford. Himself with people who knew more than him. What he did to keep his company open. Carnegie made something that was ahead of its time. It wasn't that he had all the but he was smart enough to talk to people who have done each. Some of these men knew that they could only move forward if they did well. Always be ready to learn and change. What you know now, the things that worked yesterday might not work today. Enough to keep you going tomorrow, the world. As things change and new ideas come up, not wanting to learn people who are still ready to, people who want to try something new often. There were people who knew in the data by itself isn't enough to make things work. Isn't enough. You need to use a man. You could read or listen to 100 books. He may talk all day, but if he doesn't do anything, he learns things that make him know things. Not worth more than not being honest. It's able to learn. You can't tell how smart an app is not by what you know, but by what you do with. Learn something new every day. Every day. Make it a point to read something helpful. Spend time with people who do not follow the rules and learn from those who did what you set out to do. Write down what you've learned. They can assist you in accomplishing your aim of enjoy your time and don't miss a day. Not having learned anything new since, this way you can be sure that you can get bigger because you can do anything if you know how to do it. Getting it open for the worker to learn for the rest of your life. Do better than the person who thinks they are the best. There's no need to ask because she already knows enough. If you think you can do well, are you going to answer? Do not lose the facts that will. Make sure that nine-taking doesn't work. It's easy to think and talk, but they're not the same because from what didn't work to what did, there are many smart men in the world, men who can talk a lot about men who say they can do it, finish big things. But if you don't use words, they're just words. Power is only useful when it is put to use, only for smart people. You cheer them on as they take small steps toward their goals. Can learn everything there is to learn. It is, though, if you don't do anything. It doesn't make you less smart to not know anything useful. That won't help the business grow or make money. Doesn't help the person. There are many books on how to be great, but he always puts what he has learned to use. Be read by someone who reads, someone who does something about it. What you know changes. What you do. Is it possible to make dreams come true? I think there are too many people waiting. They wait until the right time to do something. It was a great time to see the stars align, but there really isn't one. Now is the best time ever. They won't happen again. It will never be right, no matter how long you wait. Time is better spent on less important things. Not people who wait, but people who do something. They know that, but they're not sure. Do not be scared to move forward, but the most important thing you can take is the first one that doesn't. It doesn't matter how little that you start all big trips. The first step is always there. Things can be done by one choice to go ahead with a business owner who creates with only one customer, one sale, and one thought. The first step in writing a masterpiece is, there was only one word on a white page at the beginning. The beginning of a leader who changes the world is, one bold thing doesn't belong to that you think too much. Don't wait. Before you are ready, you need to feel ready. Being ready to do well isn't enough. When you do something before you're ready, when you do the first thing, you set a strong force moving things around, speeds up the moving object. Trust and faith lead to more and something. And soon, when the impossible turns into the unavoidable, things are going to go wrong and cause trouble. Other things will fail, but these won't. These don't mean you should stop. They mean you should keep going. You can get better with every mistake. People can get through anything. When things get tough, Not giving up is the powerful people ask, are you going to wait? Or are you going to be the one to lead? What will happen after you answer will depend on your choice. It's not about what you plan to do. Talk about the everyday things you do. Stop putting it off and do it now. It doesn't matter how small you start until you do something, and if you do that, it won't happen. The real thing is thoughts, not words. You have everything you need to do well. If you want to do well, there is only one question. Are you going to use it or go into the prime? Are you going to do the hard thing that hurts? Are you going to settle for average? Whatever you choose, keep this in mind. Tomorrow is either now or never. Do the hard thing and one day be in charge. And see what happens to you. There is one word that will explain why some people become famous and others stay in the same place. Discipline. It's the secret force that makes the difference between success and failure. Discipline makes you do things when it gets harder to get up early, stay focused, and avoid distractions. It's what works to make goals come true and making dreams come true. Discipline stops the cycle of putting things off and forms habits that help people change for good. Behind every great accomplishment is a base of steady, quiet work. And work is not just a trait to be disciplined. This is the key that lets you get to your full possible. If you can do that, you can do anything. In a moment, you'll learn what sets great leaders, athletes, artists, and thinkers apart from the rest. What makes them stand out from the crowd? The boss, the invisible force that turns ordinary people into amazing achievers, is the key to your potential discipline. I've spent my whole life studying hundreds of the most famous people from the mid-1000s, 100s, and early 1100s. Found that at the heart of each of their stories was a truth that could not be changed. Unwavering discipline. What an amazing. The fame of famous people like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison did not come from creativity or skill. Instead, their greatness came from a strict routine that was deeply ingrained in them. Think about Henry Ford. Skeptics surrounded him as he thought about his innovative wagon that didn't need horses. Mr. Ford's vision was seen as useless or even silly. He had to deal with ridicule, doubt, and constant resistance. Still, in the middle of a Daldas-Tane storm of question, Mr. Ford's determination led him in the right direction. Every morning, he woke up with a clear goal in mind. Setbacks turned into stepping stones thanks to his discipline, which fueled his determination instead of putting it out. Because Mr. Ford stuck to his vision without wavering, it went from being laughed at to being admired. Turned doubt into respect and laughs into wonders. At first, the world was skeptical and hesitant, but in the end, it stood amazed at how well his focused persistence paid off. Thomas Edison is also a great example of the power of discipline. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, Mr. Edison famously said, dripping sweat. During his career, he faced failure after failure in his quest to show that this theory worked. Come up with the incandescent light bulb. Mr. Edison wasn't just talented or had a sudden flash of inspiration that kept him going. It was discipline and a firm dedication to his goal. After thousands of failed tries, Mr. Edison stuck to his plan and kept improving it step by step until he not only lit a bulb, but also the whole world. Discipline is more than just limits or making things hard. In fact, it's freedom, the most freedom a person can have. Discipline gives you the strength to make choices, especially when loss of drive or mood swings. If you are inspired or driven by desire, it is easy to stick to your goals. Still, real success, real long-lasting achievement grows in those tough times when motivation is low and the desire fades. Discipline is what keeps you going, even when you're not feeling very excited or energetic. Make it clear that discipline does not hold you back. It gives you power, it gives order, and a clear way to go toward your most important hopes and dreams. Discipline is the great leveler. It makes sure that even people with average skills can rise above those who are talented but don't have the discipline to stick to their goals. Not with discipline, ability, still has unrealized potential, and dreams stay dreamy ideas that never come true. You might ask, how? How can I make my own life more disciplined? Start by making your purpose and goals very clear. Imagine what you want. Results very clearly. Let these visions strengthen your determination and help you decide what to do each day. Set up habits and routines that will help you reach your goals. Start out small. Discipline doesn't need big things. Motions, but rather steady, focused work over time. Tell yourself things you will do and then do them. Each capped promise makes you more disciplined and boosts your self-confidence and trust in your abilities. Also, it's important to keep in mind that discipline works best in a clear and precise setting. Discipline is weakened by goals or plans that aren't clear. Make your point clear. Goal setting. Make it clear what success looks like and what needs to be done to get it. Cover up. Surround yourself with dedicated people who will push you to do better. Their model will make you more determined, and their help will make you more determined. Remember that discipline is a choice that you make for yourself. It can't be forced on you from the outside. It has to come from inside. You have to consciously choose to be disciplined. To do so marks the start of a journey that will change everything. If you fully embrace discipline, you will find yourself empowered to face obstacles, go beyond limits, and achieve goals that you thought were impossible before. Not possible. Let discipline be your lighthouse, your steady friend, and your best ally. With hard work, dreams stop being just hopes. They become real, achievable things that you can reach. Accept discipline and watch as normal days turn into amazing ones, bringing you your best. Bring your dreams to life. Your clear goals, which are your guide to greatness, are the clearest sign of people who are strict. During the years I spent studying the thoughts and habits of very successful people, I've noticed that people who are focused and successful always set clear, specific goals. A life without being clear, it's like having goals but not being able to control them, like a ship at sea without a pilot or a course. The wave and wind. Think about the story of Wilbur and Orville Wright, who did amazing things. These two great thinkers grew a dream that seemed hard to achieve, taking to the skies. A lot of people around them thought their goals were silly and laughed at their efforts as unrealistic or even silly. Still, the Wright brothers had very clear goals. They were very clear about what they wanted to do. They carefully laid out their goals, which ranged from making machines lighter and more aerodynamic to understanding the complex mechanics of flight under control. They were able to rise above because they were always disciplined and had clear goals, concerns, the weight of things, and the limits of their time. Their methodical search helped people break free from the ties of earth and reach for the stars. Your goals need to be as clear and the accuracy of such huge feats. Ambiguity and broad goals don't give us a strong foundation for discipline. Setting clear goals helps you concentrate. Get your spirit going and your drive going. Once you know exactly what you want to achieve, you can make a detailed map that will help you get there. Focused work, giving each step a purpose and strength. When you set clear goals, your vague dreams become doable ones. Goals that can be measured by actions, steps, and outcomes. Today, ask yourself, what do I really want? What goal, if reached, would completely change my life and bring me long-lasting happiness? This question makes you think and be honest, for being truly self-aware is the only way to get clarity. Make your goals stand out in your mind. Very well. Picture yourself succeeding as if it were already true. Do not hold back. Feel all the feelings of happiness and accomplishment that come with reaching your goal. This mental clarity gives you more power. Fix based on rules. Set daily goals once you know what they are. Every day, no matter how you feel or no matter what, take focused, disciplined steps toward your goal. Discipline makes sure that things stay the same. You steady, even when your drive wanes or bad things happen. Everything. Disciplined action builds up over time, turning into strong momentum that moves you steadily toward your final goal. Know that people who are dedicated do well with routines. Develop every day, having habits that always help you move forward. Each person is unique because of these small but important daily habits, from just dreams to achievers. Being disciplined means sticking to these habits even when you don't feel like it. It's the strong, silent force that keeps you true to your goal. Cover up. Surround yourself with goal-oriented people who share your values and whose focused behavior inspires you. What they did and encouragement can make you much more dedicated and driven. Take what you can from both their wins and losses, realizing that discipline and determination are key to getting past the problems that will inevitably come up. Eventually, discipline and diesel, people who have clear goals, can be transformed from ordinary to amazing achievers. Let clarity show you the way. It will fuel your focus and help you make each step count. Today, figure out your goal. Tomorrow, plan your steps to get there. Keep going. This steady journey day after day, step by controlled step, until your dreams are no longer just hopes and become real and measurable. Your goals are within reach. You just need to be focused and keep going until you reach them. Accept the power of set clear goals for yourself and watch as your focused dedication turns your dreams into long-lasting success. Setting rules in the face of trouble. There will always be problems, setbacks, and mistakes in life. But for the dedicated person, the problems you're facing are not obstacles, but steps you need to take to become great. Having discipline shapes your processing that changes the way you see things, so you can see difficulties as chances to grow instead of as impossible problems to solve. Abraham Lincoln, who failed many times in business and politics during his life, at the start of his work, Mr. One Town, Lincoln went through a lot of terrible losses. He lost a few elections, had businesses go bankrupt, and had to deal with peers and foes who criticize you over and over again. All of these failures were big enough to break the spirit of a less important person. But Mr. Lincoln, strict in mind and spirit, shows strength in the face of loss. Instead of letting failures define him negatively, Mr. Lincoln learned from them. Failure can be used as a learning opportunity to build character and resolve. His systematic way of thinking turned every loss into fuel to keep going. In the end, his steadfast discipline led him to he became one of the most respected leaders in history and led the United States through its most difficult time. Strength, fueled by discipline, is the key to living when things go wrong. Discipline gives you the strength and guts to stand up. Every time you fall, when you face problems, it teaches you to keep going even when the odds look against you. Impossible to beat. Discipline keeps short-term mistakes from turning into long-term failures. When bad things happen, strikes, take a moment to remember this important truth. Setbacks only last for a while. Every problem has within it. There is a useful lesson and a hidden chance to improve your character and skills. Train yourself to look past the pain or sadness you're feeling right now and find the wisdom that's hidden in it, the experiences. This way of thinking changes the way you see the expected hard things in life. Discipline lets you to ask important, powerful questions when things are going badly. What do I need to learn from this? How can this be? Challenge make me stronger. What can I do to get better after this? When you have a focused mind, you see every problem as a chance to get smarter, stronger, and more successful. To build up this strong endurance, you have to choose discipline every day. Set up habits and routines that strengthen your heart, especially when things are hard. How consistent in your deeds make people stronger. Ready your mind and heart for the problems you will inevitably face, run into. Get around people who are good for you and who show that you can be strong and disciplined. Their own lives, their examples make you more determined to keep going even when things get hard. Also, keep things clear, and clear goals that help you stay on track and inspired even when things are hard. Setting goals helps you remember your bigger mission. Keeping things in perspective and focusing on the long-term benefits of sticking with something will help you. Always remember that trouble is not your enemy. It's your master. Every trouble, failure. And failure holds the seed of something just as good or even better. Hold yourself accountable to develop these seeds that grow strength and mental development. As you get better at this, unfortunately, some failures can lead to your biggest wins. In short, discipline lets you change the story of your life, no longer defined by mistakes or slowed down by failures. You become a disciplined person who sees chances everywhere. An issue. Accept punishment with open arms. Let it increase your resolve, make you stronger, and help you consistently reach your goals. Life's challenges can be turned into life-changing events with discipline. Seeing each setback as an important step toward your final goal, the start of success, it has been my. Life has taught me that a person can only go as far as they believe in themselves. Self-belief isn't just a feeling good about it. It is the very foundation on which all long-term success is built. Before one can order, before he can control other people or situations, he has to control his own thoughts. And that command starts with a firm idea that he is ready, able, and bound to succeed. Thomas Alva Edison made lights. The whole world with his bright light. He failed thousands of times, but did he ever question his purpose? Did he let those happen? Fails to figure out what his beliefs mean? Never. He kept alive in himself an idea so clear, so strong was their faith that even the darkness of failure couldn't put it out. That, friends, is the power to believe in yourself. You need to know that discipline is the loyal servant of faith. The goal is faith. Following rules helps build. Faith is only a castle without discipline in the sky. And discipline doesn't have a goal without faith. The two must, when you walk together, you make each other stronger. Mr. Edison didn't just think that things would work out. He disciplined himself every day to go after it. That was the guideline for his life, his thoughts, and his deeds. Believe. He worked hard, carefully, and with a goal in mind. Every hour of work was like a brick being laid by the hands of control on the belief base. It has to be the same for you. Start with faith and always have faith. Say, be sure to tell yourself every day, I am capable, not just for fun. I deserve it. I'll be successful. Don't let any person, group, or event let defeat persuade you otherwise. Doubt takes things away. It will take your fate if you let it. Protect your mind like you would a gold chest. Get rid of all thoughts of being less than or not good enough. Right away, switch them out for affirmations of power, purpose, and skills. Like a fighter getting ready for battle, you need to train your mind. Repeat and following through. What you think shapes what you believe. What you do is based on what you believe. What you did become your fate. But believing is the first step. I've sat at every table from men with a lot of money and power. I've seen them rise from nothing, and it wasn't by chance, favor, but because they were brave enough to believe. Others made fun of them, but they believed them. They believed even when there wasn't much proof. Because they believed it, they made a picture of success that was so clear that people, chances, and situations that would help them make it happen were drawn to them by it. However, let me be clear. Belief without action is foolishness for a dreamer. You need to do something on what you believe. Let your every move be guided by a goal. Get up early. Make plans for the day. Think positive things. Spend time with people who make you feel good. And when failure comes, which it will, don't curse it. As a teacher, I welcome it and make your belief even stronger. Always keep in mind that success is not a given. Not to the smartest or most skilled, but to the driviest. And resolve comes from believing and grows stronger through practice. So I say this to yourself. Believe in yourself with all your heart. Muster. You should discipline yourself like your dreams count on it, because they do. Do. Know this to be true. When you combine confidence and discipline, you can reach any goal. This will fuel your discipline. Many men look for secrets in odd places in their quest for success, as if success were hidden behind locked doors that only a select few are privy to. I have learned, though, that one of the most powerful facts is not in darkness. What you really want is your passion, and that passion gives you the focus you need. That love is so strong and long-lasting that it can bring you through the hardest times and to the top of your goals. Louis Van. Beethoven, one of the best artists the world has ever seen. As he was becoming famous for his singing, fate intervened. The loss of his hearing, which many would see as the final blow. For an artist, this kind of loss isn't just unneeded trouble. It's a tragedy. For Beethoven, though, it wasn't the end. In fact, it was the start of his most transcendent works of art. What did he say next? How did he write his most deep symphonies while he was... No sound? One word sums up the answer. Fire. Beethoven's. A love of music wasn't a choice. That was his goal. It lived in his soul. His spirit was led by the zeal that drove his discipline. Not the kind you have to do because you have to, but the kind that comes naturally from inside. He didn't follow strict rules out of duty. Instead, he did it because he loved it. Phrase one note at a time. See, discipline stops being a burden for a man when he finds his purpose. It turns into wings. People talk about discipline a lot in terms of loss, pain, and it hurts to keep going. But this is only true when someone is walking on someone else's road, when the light on your way is... Since it's a hobby, the work needed to keep going doesn't feel like work. It turns into something holy. I've sat with a lot of men, strong and weak, rich and poor. Those who reach their goals with peace in their hearts are those who... Connection between their inner calling and the things they do in the world. They did more than just work hard. They worked hard. That love and zeal makes it easy to be disciplined. This changes the grind up to grace. What is it that makes you feel alive? What would you do even if no one cheered or praised you and didn't thank you? Because that answer holds the key to your future. And once planted, it is your job to take care of it every day. When desire drives discipline, it turns into a rhythm. It is like a musician who gets up every morning to practice his keys, not because he has to, but because he can't stand not to. It's the creator worked late at night on sketches, not because he had to, but because he was devoted to what he was doing. If you're tired or lost, it might not be your lack of control that's making you unhappy. It might be that you're not connected to what you love. Line up. Join again. Find the fire that used to be there, did not take any time, and made work feel easy. And plan your life around it once you find it. Make the mornings holy time for your goal. Let your habits help you do what you're called to do. Put yourself around people who inspire you, who share your resolve, and who make you feel better. Spend money on your love every day, as if it were. Gold is more important than any treasure. Keep this eternal truth in mind. Problems don't go away when you follow your heart, but they're no longer at odds with each other. They become friends. Yes, they test you, but they also shape you. Thank you. They sharpen your skills, make you better at what you do, and bring out the best in you. When discipline is fueled by desire, greatness is pakradari. It's not a matter of if or when, so I urge you to find your passion, live for it, and respect it, and let it help you stay disciplined every day, because you will be great when your discipline and desire come together. Ends up being inevitable. Hold your growth in check. Let us look at the life of Benjamin Franklin, who was one of the builders of American creativity. He was born into a poor family and didn't go to school after the age of 10. Still, he became a politician, inventor, artist, diplomat, and philosopher by being disciplined and learning on his own. How did he get this done? Mr. Franklin made a daily schedule that included writing, reading, and thinking, trying new things. He worked on shaping his mind with the same care that a sculptor works on making stone. He had books on him. He was always interested in languages, studied them in his free time, and looked at the natural world with awe. He wrote down ideas, asked questions, and tested them. Most importantly, he was always learning what Mr. Franklin understood, and everyone who wants to be successful needs to understand this. Information changes over time. It moves and breathes, always changing. And if you want to stay smart, useful, and effective, you have to keep up with this change. Power. But growth like that doesn't just happen. It takes place by discipline. Consistency is needed for lifelong learning. People need to make it a habit of, as someone gets into the habit of breathing every day, they are learning. It doesn't matter if you are a farmer, a teacher, a trader, or a banker. As soon as you stop learning, you start to get worse. Your ideas get bigger, stale, your skills get dull, and your potential gets smaller. Following rules is what keeps the mind living. To learn is not an event. It's not a camp over the weekend, a one-time class, or a sudden spark. No, growth takes place in small steps, not big jumps. And discipline makes sure that every step, lesson, and bit of growth builds on the last one. The last. Like interest that builds over time, the effects may not seem like much at first, but over time they add up to deep understanding and skill. You need to make a promise to learn something new every day, not just when it is easy to use every day, not just when inspiration hits. Make time to read or listen to a lesson, learn about an idea, or think about an idea. Keep a record of your thoughts. Do something to test what you've learned. Don't be happy with just knowing things. Try to understand and then use what you've learned to help you reach your goals. Things are going around faster than ever. Fresh thoughts and ideas come out with each new season. You will be left behind if you don't put learning first. But if you follow the rules, when you push yourself to grow, you can do anything. This is something I have seen in the best leaders of business, the most admired minds, and the toughest pioneers. They're not just people with goals. They are people who work hard. They write down what people say. When other people make assumptions, they ask questions. They read while other people sleep. When other people confuse them, they think by themselves. As you read this, discipline is the link between your best chance of success. Use it to help you learn more about the world. Let it go. Get smarter, make better choices, and open doors that ability alone can't reach. So I beg you, develop the habit of learning every day. Know a lot, be curious, and be humble. Treat your mind like a plant, because that garden is where great things grow from seeds. It's not a goal to reach success. It's a lesson for life. And a disciplined student is always moving, always changing, and always going up, setting rules. When things change, the one thing that stays the same is life itself. It comes out of nowhere and changes the scenery of our money, companies, and lives. Still, many people are afraid of it, fight it, and wise man looks forward to it, not because it's easy, but because it makes things better. No, because he has trained himself to be flexible through hard work. Think about how the economy changed in the 1950s, a 10-year period of change. As old businesses failed, new ones popped up, and a huge number of people found their way of life was turned upside down. But among the chaos, a small group of prophets saw what others couldn't, the chance. They quickly adjusted, changed direction on purpose, and saw themselves not as victims of change, but as winners of it. It wasn't luck that set these pioneers apart from the rest. It was focused adaptability. They had trained their thoughts to stay calm when things get tough, their eyes to look for opportunities, and their habits to act on what they see, both quickly and wisely. Know this, you shouldn't be afraid of change. Being against change is. The person who holds on to the past will be dead by tomorrow. But the person who trains that man will be able to adapt, change with purpose, and respond instead of react. That man will rise above the storm. It's not chaos to be adaptable. It's not just chance. It's not giving up on your things or a direction. Disciplined adaptation, on the other hand, is the skill of staying true to your goals while making changes to your ways too. This is the power to stay rooted, even as you change your stance. And like all, if you want real power, you have to train it. Make it a habit to stay awake and aware. When things get tough, don't worry. Take a deep breath, look around, and evaluate. The mind that can stay still in the middle of doubt is the mind that sees solutions where others only see issues. It's not normal to be adaptable. Everyone. Routines and the appearance of control are appealing to many, but progress needs movement, and movement is what progress needs. Needs to change. Prepare yourself to accept it. Every day you should ask, what has changed? What does it teach me? How can I get better? By doing this, you develop a mindset that is open to change. To avoid being afraid of losing, everything starts to look like a puzzle to you, not a sentence to bear. This is how businesses are shaken up and riches are made. Make memories and how they come to be. In the 1950s, as technology advanced and global markets changed, those who were able to adapt their plans and welcome new ideas, those who looked into new tools and felt the pulse of the future, were ahead of those who stayed still. A well-trained mind doesn't expect the world to change to fit its needs. It gets ready to meet the world as it is and change it into what it wants, can turn into. You need to work on this trait. Train your ability to change like a muscle. Push yourself past yours. Ease. Try different things. Look into new styles. Talk to people. Some people are scared to ask when problems happen. If someone knocks, don't hide. Let's go. Develop new ideas instead of copying others, and look into things instead of staying put. Every problem you face makes you smarter, and every setback makes you stronger. The world will keep going too. Things need to change in life, in work, and in society. But if you use controlled flexibility, you will not only make it through these changes, you will lead them. Because of this, I urge you to make mental being flexible. Stay rooted in your goal, but be flexible in how you carry it out. Don't let doubt bother you. Instead, train. Allow your mind to bend, but don't break, because that's what makes you strong. If you're ready, change will favor you. If you train yourself to be ready, every wave of trouble will turn into with the wind behind you. Your attitude, or how you see things, shapes the way you live your life. It does a guiding you quietly through trouble, chance, and the unknown. Having a disciplined and cheerful outlook is not just a phrase to make you feel good. It is the base on which greater things are made. Winston Churchill was the leader of a country that was torn apart by war and fear during the worst parts of World War II. World War II, when it looked like freedom might not last, Mr. Churchill chose to train his mind. He didn't want to be. Desperation has taken over. Instead, he used the strength of hope and determination, his unwavering faith in. Millions of people felt hopeful after the win, even though the odds were against them. It wasn't blind hope that made him, but one that is very well regulated, a choice not to give in to worry, fear, or no hope at all. The story of Mr. Churchill is not unique in history. It shows proof to the truth that everyone has fights, both inside and outside of themselves. And when that happens, the way we think becomes our strongest tool or our heaviest load. When we train our minds to look for possibilities instead of, we change how we experience life when we have limits. Backward steps become stepping stones. Failures teach us something. Problems can be turned into chances to grow. This kind of focus doesn't come, of course. It is formed by practicing every day and making a mindful effort to change our point of view. Thank you is one such powerful method. When we train ourselves to be grateful for what we have instead of, we give our thoughts more than what they need, making them stronger and clearer. Optimism as well is not a naive fantasy, but a thought that has been trained. It's the choice to see past the pain right now and believe in the value of sticking with something. Discipline makes it possible to do what you want to do. Without it, optimism is weak and easily broken by the problems that come up in life. But if you follow through, positivity turns into a force that is stable, long-lasting, and able to change things. We start to think about what the world could be instead of what it is. We start to know what doors are. People around you only see walls. Every morning is a chance to train your mind. Will you think about your limits? Or be open to possibilities? Will you let fear take over, or will you stake your claim? With guts and clarity, you always have a choice. And every thought you guard brings you one step closer to the life you want. Picture. Your thoughts are what make your future possible. Be careful when you shape them. Build with a plan. Lead to teach them control. Because in the end, your fate is not determined by luck, ability, or the way things happen to you. It's the mindset that you choose to have every day. Pick a field. Choose to be positive. Keep an eye on the... Your life changes not by chance, but because of a strong plan you made for yourself. Action or discipline in motion is the planned or 22 laws, the greatest test of discipline. It's simple to hope, dream, and make plans. But these plans will stay plans if nothing is done. Hollow. Real dedication is shown by what you do, not what you think. To be successful in any area of life, you need to be steady and a conscious effort. It takes guts to act even when things aren't going well, and persistence to keep going. Moving forward, even if it seems like it's taking a long time. Think about what Andrew Carnegie left behind. He was one of the most important businessmen of our time. Mr. Carnegie came from a poor family and worked his way up, not by chance, but through consistent, planned effort. He didn't wait for the right possibilities to come up. They made them. He worked with purpose and accuracy every day, putting money into business, relationships, and information. His wealth was more than just money. It wasn't built on anything but habits and constant progress. Setting rules means doing them even when it's hard. When you don't feel like doing something and the urge to put it off keeps whispering in your ear, taking care of what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Putting things off is the quiet thief of dreams. It slows things down and destroys in your own abilities and keeps you stuck in a circle of unrealized potential. You have to train yourself to break free. Be firm and reliable in what you do. You need to train yourself to take that first step, then the next, and so on. That, not in big bursts that don't happen very often, but in slow, steady steps. Each one disciplined. Every little thing you do brings you closer to the life you want. When the chance comes up, hesitating can be killing. When the mind is focused, it acts quickly and with confidence, taking into account that chances often come in the form of challenges, and waiting for the right time is just another way of fear. Discipline stops you from doubting, pushes you to act, and makes sure that you are ready to take the chance whenever it comes up. Let what you do talk louder than what you say you will do. Let your discipline should show not in what you say, but in what you do. Your habits make the future you have. How you behave decides how well you do. When taken on purpose, one step forward means more power than all the goals that aren't said. Make a promise to do something, not just think, dream, or plan. Every day show up, do the job, push through the pain, gather speed. You can't wait for fate to happen. It's something you build by following through with your plans, one brick at a time. A person's actions, not their skills or luck, are what separate them from those who fail. And when you want to do something, discipline is there to help you do it. Pick a disciplined deed and let it define you. Feel it. Let it guide you to the life you were meant to live. Disciplined living isn't just about success for yourself in the end. It's also about leaving a legacy. a memory that makes other people better. People like Mother Teresa change a lot of people's lives with their hard work, besides their own. Train yourself to live with a goal and a vision bigger than your own gain. What do you want people to think about you? Let this happen. Your actions should be guided by your goal, and each day should add to a lasting legacy. The responsible decisions you made today will inspire people in the future. Commit to living a disciplined life with a reason, and your legacy will live on through time. Being disciplined is the key to success. Don't waste it, and great things are waiting for you. One word can describe the difference between people who stay in one place and those who reach fame. Discipline. The secret force is what separates winners and losers. Following rules makes you do things when I find it harder to wake up early, concentrate, and stay away from things that interest me. It helps you reach your goals and getting dreams realized. People who follow rules stop putting things off and make habits that help them change for good. An important goal is built on years of steady, quiet work. And do work isn't just a trait to be controlled. This is the key to reaching your full potential. Possible. You can do anything else. You'll soon find out what makes great leaders, artists, thinkers, and players different from everyone else. The boss, to become more disciplined, you need to find the invisible force that makes regular people into amazing performers. I've spent my whole life learning about very well-known people from the middle and early 1100s. Found that there was one thing that could not be changed in all of their stories. They had to be very disciplined. What a wonderful... People like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison did not become famous because, or skill or creativity. Instead, they were great because they had a strict plan that they followed all the time. Just think about Henry Ford. He was surrounded by doubters as he thought about his new wagon that didn't need horses. Mr. Ford's, the idea of vision was seen as pointless or even silly. He had to deal with being laughed at, having doubts, and always being turned down. Still, in the middle of Mr. Ford was determined, which helped him get where he needed to go. Every morning, he knew what he wanted to do when he woke up. His discipline changed setbacks into stepping stones that helped him grow. Drive instead of putting it out there. People used to laugh at Mr. Ford's idea, but now they respect it because he didn't change it. Make people admire you and laugh at your jokes. There was doubt and hesitation in the world at first, but in the end it stood. I was amazed at how well his hard work and determination paid off. Thomas Edison is another well-known person who shows how powerful discipline. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, said Thomas Edison in a famous quote. Dripping with sweat. In his career, he tried over and over again, but failed to show that this idea was true. Create the incandescent light bulb. You couldn't just say that Mr. Edison was smart or had a sudden idea that kept him going. It took hard work and a strong commitment to his goal. 1,000 times it didn't work. He stuck to his plan and kept making it better until he could not only light a bulb, but also the whole world. Discipline isn't just setting rules or making things hard. It's really freedom, the freedom to do whatever they want. Being disciplined makes you strong to decide what to do, especially when mood changes or losing your drive. If you want something badly enough, it's easy to stick to your goals. Still, there is real, long-lasting success that grows when things are hard and desire is low, and the want goes away. Having discipline is what keeps you going, even when you don't feel like doing much. Make it clear that you won't let punishment stop you. It makes you strong, it makes things clear, and puts them in order to reach your biggest hopes and dreams. Consequences make sure that everyone is on the same level. There are people who can do better than those who are skilled, but don't have the self-control to follow through on their plans. Not with discipline and ability, still have untapped promise, and hopes will always be just that, dreams. You might ask, how? What can I do to get my life in order? First, be very clear about your mission and goals. Think about what you want. Very clear results. These ideas can help you stay determined and figure out what to do every day. Learn to do things in a way that helps you meet your goals. Begin little. You don't need big things to be disciplined. Not waves, but steady, focused work over time. Make plans for yourself and then follow through. You will be more disciplined and trust yourself and your skills more when you make a promise that is kept. It's also important to remember that discipline works best when things are clear and easy to understand. Clear goals and plans make it easier to stay on track. Make your point clear. Setting goals. Make it clear what you need to do and what success looks like. Cover up. Get close to determined people who will push you to do better. Their model will push you to do better, and having their help will push you further. Don't forget that discipline is something you choose to do. It can't be put on you by someone else. It needs to come from inside. To be disciplined, you have to choose to be so. To do that, this is the beginning of a trip that will make everything different. If you really follow through with determination, you will find yourself strong enough to deal with problems, push yourself to your limits, and reach goals you thought were out of reach before. Not possible. Be disciplined. It will be your guide, your friend, and your best partner. Because dreams aren't just hopes when you work hard for them. Then they become real things that you can reach. Accept, follow through, and see how ordinary days turn into amazing ones that bring out your best. Make your dreams come true. Your clear goals, which will help you become great, are the most obvious sign of stern people. When I looked into the habits and thoughts of very successful people for years, I have seen that successful and focused people always make their goals clear and detailed. A life that isn't clear, you have goals, but you can't control them. It's like being on a ship at sea without a captain or a map. The wind and waves. Think about what Wilbur and Orville Wright did. These two smart people grew a dream that seemed impossible to reach, to fly. A lot of people were nearby, thought their goals were silly, and laughed at their efforts, calling them silly or even impossible. But still, they were very clear about what they wanted to do. They were sure of what they thought they should do. They thought about setting up. Among their goals were to make machines lighter and more aerodynamic, and to figure out the complicated physics of the flight is under control. Because they were always on track and had clear goals, they were able to get ahead. Worries, how heavy things are, and how much time they have left. Their careful search helped people leave the ground behind and reach for the stars. You should be very clear about your goals. How well such huge tasks are done. We can't build a strong base on vague and general goals. Discipline. Making goals is a good way to focus. Get your drive and energy going. When you can make an accurate map that will help you reach your goal once you know it very well. Work with attention, giving each step a reason and a boost. You can make your vague dreams come true when you set clear goals. Actions, steps, and results can be used to measure goals. What do I really want? Ask yourself today. What goal, if I reached it, would make my whole life different and bring me happiness that lasts? You have to think about this question and be honest, for being clear means being fully aware of yourself. Make sure you remember your goal. Good job. Imagine that you are successful as if it were already true. Don't hold back. When you reach your goal, feel all the happiness and pride that comes with it. You have more power now that your mind is clear. Fix based on the rules. Once you know what your daily goals are, write them down every day, no matter how you feel, or stick to your plan and take focused steps toward your goal no matter what. Stick to the rules to keep things the same. You stay strong even when things go wrong or your drive fades. Everything, over time, consistent action turns into strong momentum that pulls you gradually toward your end goal. Know that dedicated people do well with practices. Every day, grow. Getting into habits that help you move forward all the time. These small but important daily habits make each person special. From having only dreams to making them come true, you have to be determined to keep these habits even when you don't want to. You stay true to your goal because of a strong, quiet force. Cover up. Put yourself around goal-oriented people who share your beliefs and whose focused actions motivate you. What they did, and thanks for the support. It can really make you more committed and driven. Learn as much as you can from their wins and mistakes, realizing that discipline and determination are key to getting past the problems that will surely come up. In the end, focus. People can go from being average to amazing if they have clear goals. Achievers, get clear to find your way. It will help you stay focused and make each step matter. Today, make a plan. Make a plan for how to get there tomorrow. Keep going. Every day, take this steady step-by-step journey until your dreams are more than just hopes. As real and measured as possible. That's it. You can reach your goals. Just keep your mind on them and keep going. Give in to the power of... Make clear goals for yourself and see how your focused hard work turns your dreams into long-lasting success. Making rules in when things go wrong. Things will go wrong. Issues arise, and mistakes are made all the time. But for the person who stays true, you're not facing problems as problems, but as steps you need to take to become great. Having control changes the way you look at things. So now you can see problems as chances to grow instead of as ones that you can't fix. In his life, Abraham Lincoln failed many times in business and politics. When he first started working, Mr. Dot-Com, Abe Lincoln lost a lot of important people. A few elections went against him, companies failed, and he had to deal with people who like and dislike you and criticize you a lot. All of these mistakes were big enough to break the spirit of someone not as important. But Mr. Lincoln, who was strict in mind and heart, shows that you're strong after losing someone. Instead of having his mistakes make him look bad, Mr. Lincoln used them to improve himself. You can use failure as a chance to learn and strengthen your spirit and resolve the organized way he thinks. Used every loss as fuel to keep going. His strict control finally led him to... It is said that he was one of the most recognized leaders in history. He also led the U.S. through its worst time. Strength that comes from... When things go wrong, discipline is the key to staying alive. Following rules makes you strong and brave enough to stand up. Every time you hit the ground. When you have problems, you learn to keep going even when things don't look good. Not possible to beat. Short-term mistakes don't turn into long-term fails when you have discipline. When bad things take place, when it hits, remember this important truth for a moment. Backward steps only last a short time. There is something in every problem. A good lesson and a chance to get better at things are hidden for you. Learn to see the wisdom that's hidden in the pain or sadness you're feeling right now. The things they did. This way of thinking changes how you see the hard things that are going to happen in your life. Following rules lets you to ask strong, important questions when things are not going well. What does this teach me? How is this possible? Does a task make me stronger? How can I feel better now? This. You can see every problem as a chance to get better, stronger, and more successful when your mind is clear. 2. You have to choose determination every day if you want to build up this kind of strength. Make patterns and habits that keep your heart strong, especially when things are tough. How reliable is it in? People are stronger because of what you do. Get your heart and mind ready for the problems you will have to deal with, run into. Spend time with people who are good for you and who show you how to be strong and on track their own lives. You are more motivated to keep going when things get tough because of what they did. Also, make sure everything is clear. Plus, clear goals that push you to stay on track even when things get tough. Setting goals helps you keep your eye on the bigger picture. Putting things in perspective and thinking about how sticking with something will help you in the long run will help. Always keep that in mind. Trouble is not your enemy. It's in charge of you. All the trouble, loss. If you fail, you can grow something just as good or even better. Set goals for yourself to improve these seeds that help you get stronger and smarter. As you get better at it, some mistakes can lead to your biggest wins, which is a bad thing. To put it simply, discipline changes your life. Not tied down by mistakes or slowed down by. You become focused and look for chances everywhere when you fail a matter. Take the penalty with open arms. Let it make you more determined, stronger, and help you reach your goals every time. With focus, life's problems can become events that change your life. Seeing every failure as a necessary step toward your ultimate goal, the start of something great, it has been I have learned that people can only go as far as they think they can. Believe in yourself isn't just it makes me feel good. It's the very thing that all long-term success is built on. Before someone can order, he has to take charge of his own thoughts before he can take charge of other people or situations. For that order to begin, he has to be sure that is ready, able, and certain to do well. Thomas A. Edison made light bulbs. The whole world with his bright light. He failed 1,000,000 times. But did he ever wonder what he was here to do? Did he allow those things to happen? Not able to figure out what his views mean? Never. He kept a very clear idea living in himself. Their faith was so strong that even the darkness of failing couldn't put it out. That, friends, is having faith in yourself. You should know that discipline is the true and loyal servant of God. Faith is the goal. Following the rules helps you build. Without rules, faith is just a castle up in the sky. And self-control is useless without faith. The two must. You get stronger when you walk with someone. He wasn't just sure that everything would work out, Mr. Edison felt it. He told himself every day that he would go after it. That was what he lived by, what he thought and what he did. Trust. He was careful, worked hard, and had a plan. Every hour of work was like putting down a brick by the blash, the hands of power over the thought base. You need to have the same thing happen. Have hope at the start and keep it up. You should tell yourself every day, I am capable and not just for fun. I deserve it. I am sure I will succeed. Don't let anyone, any group, or any event, don't let failure change your mind. Things are taken away by doubt. It will need your fate if you let it. Like a gold box, you should keep your mind safe. Get rid of any thoughts that you are not good enough or better than others. Replace them right away with statements of strength, purpose, and skills. To get your mind ready for war, you need to train it. Repeating and doing what you say. What you believe is based on what you think. What you believe shapes what you do. What you did become your fate. But the first step is to believe. I've sat down at every table from powerful and wealthy guys. They came from nothing, and it wasn't by chance. Favor, but because they had the faith to believe. Some people laughed at them, but they believed. Many times there wasn't much proof for what they thought. They painted such a clear picture of success because they believed it that it drew to them chances, people, and situations that would help them make it happen. But, just so you know, for a dreamer, believing without doing is silly. Something needs to be done. Based on what you think. Your every move should be based on a goal. Get up early, plan your day, think good thoughts, and spend time with people who make you feel good. If you fail, which you will, don't curse it. As a teacher, I'm glad about it, and make what you believe even stronger. Always remember that wins aren't a given. Not to the smartest or most skilled people, but to the most determined. And determination comes from having faith and gets stronger as you use it. So tell yourself, I believe in you with all my heart. Muster. Because your dreams depend on it, you should be strict with yourself. Do. You should know this to be true. It's possible to reach any goal if you have faith and work hard. This will give you energy. Discipline. In their search for success, many men look for secrets in strange places, as if success were hidden behind closed doors that only a few people can see. But I've learned that one of the most important things is not in darkness. The thing you really want is your love, and that gives you the drive you need. That love is so strong and lasts so long that it can help you get through the worst times and reach your goals. Louis Van Beethoven was one of the greatest artists ever. As his music became more well-known, fate stepped in. His hearing was taken away, which many would see as the last blow. This kind of loss isn't just for artists. Not wanted trouble, it's terrible. But it wasn't the end for Beethoven. In fact, it was the beginning of his holy works of art. What did he say next? How did he write his most profound pieces while he was nothing? The answer is in one word: fire. Beethoven's. It wasn't a choice to love music. That was his aim. It lived in his soul. His spirit was led by the zeal that made him strict. Not the kind you have to do because you need to, but the kind that just comes from inside you. He didn't follow the rules because it was the right thing to do. He did it because he loved it. Phrase one note at a time. Manliness stops being a drag when he knows what he's here to do. It changes into wings. Discipline is often talked about in terms of pain, loss, and it hurts to keep going. But this is only true when someone is walking on the street of someone else. When the light ahead of you is the work that needs to be done to keep the hobby going doesn't feel like work. It becomes holy. I've had a lot of men, rich and poor, strong and weak. People who reach their goals peacefully are the ones who there is a link between what they do in the world and what they are called to do. They worked hard, but they did more than that. They worked tough. That love and zeal makes it simple to follow rules. This changes the get to grace. What brings you life? What would you do if no one praised or cheered you on and didn't say thanks? Because the answer is sure to change your life, and once you need to take care of it every day after you plant it. As a person works hard because they want to, they form a flow. It is like a guitarist who can't stand not practicing his keys every morning, not because he has to, but because he has to. It's the artist worked on sketches late at night because he loved what he was doing, not because he had to. If it could be something else that's making you sad, like being tired or lost. It's possible that you are not linked to what you enjoy. Gather, come back. Look for the fire that was there. Didn't take long and made work seem easy. Once you find it, build your life around it. Set aside time every morning to work toward your goal. Do what you're supposed to do with the help of your skills. Spend time with people who motivate you, who agree with you, and who make you feel better. Every day, treat your love like it's worth money. Any prize is not as important as gold. Remember this truth that will never change. Things don't get better when you should still follow your heart, but they are no longer at odds with each other. They become good friends. They do test you, but they also shape you. Thanks. They teach you new things, improve your work, and bring out the best in you. When discipline is driven by a desire to do well, it's not a question of when or if. So I want you to find your love, honor it, and live for it. And use it every day to help you stay on track, because you will be great when you follow through on what you want and then some. It turns out to be unavoidable. Keep your growth in check. Take a look at Benjamin Franklin's life. He was one of the innovators in the United States. He didn't go to school after the 10th grade because his family was poor. Still, he learned how to be a politician, an engineer, an artist, a diplomat, and a philosopher by following rules and studying on his own. How did he finish this? A daily plan that Mr. Franklin made included time to write, read, and think. Going for a ride. The way he shaped his mind was like how an artist shapes stone, with great care. He had books about him. He had always been interested in languages and studied them in his spare time. He was also amazed by nature. He wrote down thoughts, asked questions, and put them to the test. Most importantly, he was always learning new things. What Mr. Franklin knew this. Information changes over time. Anyone who wants to be successful needs to know this. It lives and moves. It changes all the time, and you need to keep up with it to stay smart, useful, and effective. Power. That kind of change doesn't just happen, though. It takes place by discipline. For ongoing learning, you need to be consistent. It needs to become a habit for people to People are learning as they make it a habit to breathe every day. It does not matter if you are a teacher, a farmer, a trader, or a banker. You get worse as soon as you stop learning. Your thoughts get bigger, stale, your skills lose their edge, and your limit drops. The mind stays alive by following rules. To learn is not an event. An overnight camp, a one-time class, or a quick spark are not it. No, growth happens in take little steps instead of big jumps. Always remember that each step, lesson, and bit of growth builds on the last one. The last. Things may not seem important at first, but they add up over time, just like interest that grows over time. A lot of knowledge and skill. Every day you need to promise to learn something new, not just when it's simple to use every day, not just when you feel like it. Take some time to read or listen to an idea, learn about it, or think about it. Write down your thoughts. Test what you've learned by doing something. It's not enough to just know things. Try to get it, and then, to meet your goals, use what you've learned. Things are moving faster than ever. New ideas and thoughts come out with every new season. Should you not learn first, you will fall behind. But if you do what the rules say, you can do anything if you push yourself to get better. I've seen this in the best leaders of business, the smartest people, and the bravest trailblazers. They're not just people with plans. They are hard workers. What people say is written down. People who are wrong about something ask questions. Some people read while others sleep. They think when other people mess them up on their own. As you read this, discipline is what holds you're the most likely to succeed. It can help you understand the world better. Give it up. Make smarter decisions, and you'll be able to get through doors that your skills alone can't. So please, make it a habit to learn every day. Learn a lot, be interested, and be humble. Take care of your mind like a plant. Because from seeds, great things grow in that yard. It's not a goal to be successful. It's a lesson for everyday life. Students who follow the rules are always moving, changing, and going up. Making rules. Life is the only thing that doesn't change. It changes the scene out of the blue. We trust with our money, businesses, and lives. Still, a lot of people are scared of it, fight it, and a smart man looks forward to it not because it's simple, but because it makes things better. No, because he has worked hard to become open. Think about how the business changed in the 1950s, a 10-year time frame of change. As old businesses shut down, new ones opened, and a huge number of people found their way to. Things went wrong in life. There was chaos, but a small group of psychics saw what no one else could, the chance. They quickly adjusted, changed course on purpose, and didn't see change as something bad. They saw it as something good. Instead of luck, these pioneers stood out because they were able to adapt to new situations. They had trained their minds to keep calm when things get tough, their eyes to see chances, and their habits to act on what they see, both fast and smart. Do not forget this. Don't be scared of change. People who don't want to change will be dead tomorrow. But the trainer, that people will be able to change for the better, adapt and respond instead of react, that people will be able to rise above the storm. Being able to change is not chaos. It's not just luck. It's not giving up on you. Things are a way to go. It is possible to stay true to your goals while making changes to your life through disciplined adaptation. This is the strength to stay put even if you change your mind. And like all, train your power if you want it to really work. Stay awake and aware all the time. Don't give up when things get tough. Stress. Take a big breath, look around, and decide what to do. The mind that can stay. For those who see problems but not answers, they are still in the middle of doubt. Being able to change isn't normal. Everyone, a lot of people like routines and the idea of being in charge. Moving forward, on the other hand, is what growth needs. Things need to change. Get ready to accept it. You should ask yourself every day, what has You become more open to change when you ask yourself, what does it teach me? How can I get better? To stop being afraid of losing. You start to see everything as a puzzle, not a sentence to bear. This is how companies get shook up and rich people get rich. Remember things and how they happen. In the 1950s, as technology improved and markets around the world changed, those who were able to change their plans and be open to new ideas, people who looked into new tools and felt the future, were ahead of those who didn't, stayed the same. A smart mind doesn't expect the world to change so it can meet its needs. It gets ready to take the world as it is and make it what it wants it to be, can become. You need to work on this trait. Train your ability to change like a muscle. Go beyond your limits. Have fun. Try new things and look into new styles. Talk to people. Some people are afraid to ask. If someone knocks, don't run away. Let's go. Come up with your own ideas instead of copying other people's, and don't stay where you are. You get better and stronger with each problem you face. The world will keep going in job, in life, and in society. Things need to change. But if you use controlled flexibility, that's right, you will not only get through these changes, you will lead them. That's why I want you to hold on to your goal, but be open to different ways to reach it. Don't let fear get in the way of your training. You're strong because you don't break when your mind bends. Things will change for the better if you're ready. Every bad thing will turn into a good thing if you train yourself to be ready. With the wind behind you, the way you live your life is shaped by your mood or how you see things. Being a quiet guide through trouble, chance, and the unknown, having a focused and positive attitude, it's not just a word to make you feel good, it's what bigger things are built on. During the worst parts of World War II, Winston Churchill led a country that was torn apart by war and fear. During WWIE, when it looked like freedom might not last, Mr. Churchill decided to train his mind because he didn't want to be a soldier. But he didn't give up. Instead, he used the power of hope and drive and his unwavering faith in. A lot of people were hopeful after the win, even though the odds were against them. It wasn't just hope that made them feel that way. A choice not to give in to worry, fear, or there is no hope at all. Mr. Churchill's story is not unique in history. When we face the fact that everyone fights, both inside and outside of themselves, this changes the way we think. When we train our minds to think about what could happen instead of what could go wrong. When we have limits, we change how we live our lives. Steps backwards become stepping stones. We can learn from our mistakes and use problems as chances to grow. This level of focus doesn't come naturally, of course. We get better at it by training every day and consciously trying to change our minds. One very effective way is to train ourselves to be thankful for what we have instead of our thoughts get more than they need, which makes them stronger and clearer. Hope as well. That isn't just a silly thought, but one that has been taught. It's the choice to see past, stick with something even if it hurts, because discipline lets you do what you want to do. Thoughts of hope are weak without it, and problems in life can easily break them. But if you hold on, it turns into a strong, long-lasting force that can make things different. Instead of thinking about what the world is, think about what it could be. We start to understand what doors are. People around you only see walls. You can train your mind every morning. Will you think about what you can't do? Will you give in to fear or be open to what might happen? Will you stake your claim or let it go? Without fear or doubt, you always have a choice, and each thought you hold on to brings you one step closer to the life you want. Think carefully about how you shape your thoughts because they make your future possible. Build with a plan and lead, so they learn how to be responsible. Because in the end, your fate is not based on luck, skill, or how things happen to you. Every day, pick a field. Pick to be happy. Keep an eye on the. Your life has changed, not by chance, but because you made a strong plan for it. Action, or discipline in action, is a tough test of discipline. It's easy to hope, dream, and make plans, but if you don't do anything, those plans will stay plans. What you do, not what you say, shows how dedicated you really are. If you want to be great in any area of your life, you need to be steady, and you have to be brave to act even when things aren't going well, and you have to be persistent to keep going. It's moving forward even if it seems to be taking a long time. Think about what Andrew Carnegie left behind. He was one of the most important business people of our time. Mr. Carnegie came from a poor family and didn't get there not by chance, but by steady, well-thought-out work. He didn't wait for the right opportunities to present themselves. He made them happen. They were made. He worked hard and carefully every day, putting money into... It wasn't just money that made him rich. It was business, ties, and knowledge. It was built on habits and steady growth. Making rules means following them, even if it's tough. When you don't want to do something, but keep hearing the urge to put it off, don't put things off, no matter how you feel. It steals your dreams, slows things down, and breaks them. You have to train yourself to break free from doubts about your own skills that keep you stuck in a circle of unrealized potential. Stick to what you say you'll do. You need to train yourself to take the first step, then the next, and so on. That. Not in big bursts, which don't happen very often, but in small, steady steps. Each one was planned out. Every little thing you do moves you closer to the life you want. If you wait, you might miss out on a chance. Killing. The mind works quickly and with confidence when it is focused. In life, chances often come in the form of trials. Another way to wait for the right time is to tame fear. Discipline keeps you from having doubts, forces you to act, and checks that you do. Let what you do speak louder than what you say you will do. Let your actions speak louder than your words. What you do, not what you say, should show that you are disciplined. Your habits determine your future. What makes you do well? One step forward means more when you do it on purpose. Promise to do something, not just think, dream, or plan. Show up every day, do your job, and push through the pain to get faster. Fate doesn't just happen. You build it by sticking to your goals, one brick at a time. Not their skills or luck, but what they do that sets them apart from those who fail it. Discipline helps you do things when you want to. Pick a focused action and let it describe who you are. Feel it and let it lead you to the life you were meant to live. Disciplined life isn't just about getting ahead. It's also about leaving something behind. Remember someone who makes other people better. Hardworking people like Mother Teresa changed the lives of many people. Train yourself to live with a goal and a purpose, bigger than your own gain. What do you want people to think of you? Allow this to happen. Your actions should be based on your goal, and each day should add to your lasting memory. The smart choices you made today will help you get there. Will give people ideas for how to live an orderly life with a purpose, and your message will be heard. Through time. Discipline is the key to success. Don't waste it, and you're about to do great things.